Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the final Sherlock discussion. We are never going to be discussing Sherlock ever again, unless the show continues in, who knows, a few years. Probably not, though, because I think Mrs. Hudson died, the actor, so I don't think it's coming back.
Mrs. Hudson!
Yeah, this is a while ago, though. But we are
Say it
back.
ain't so.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. Yeah, we're here to talk about Sherlock. So, Kyle, the final season of Sherlock.
What, I don't get an introduction?
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm here with Kyle, so go ahead, yes.
I had a whole thing planned. Pretend I didn't speak EliteAri and
All right.
introduce me.
And I'm joined by Kyle Entertainment.
EliteAri. Mary is fucking dead!
That is true, and it's very funny, because...
Can you believe it?
Let me just say, I completely forgot that happened. So when that happened, I was like, what? How is this happening? I was like so convinced it was like fake or something. I don't know why, but anyway, I guess I know why. I know I've seen the other episodes, but anyway.
What do you mean you know why? What's that mean?
Because I clearly forgot that she was like a ghost in the next one. And I just thought she was in that for some reason. But yeah, anyway.
It is funny not to jump at. Died in 2021, EliteAri, Mrs. Hudson.
Yep.
The show's fucking cancelled.
That is true.
What was I saying? Oh, it is funny because there is like a fake out where she almost may be alive at the beginning of the second one. So yeah, that was funny.
All right. Anyway,
but it is true. She was freaking dead.
Yeah. What an intro. Thank you for that. So now let me give some context before your overall thoughts. So we watched two things. Okay. We watched a special, which I think I said was a Christmas special, but I don't know if it's a Christmas special. I think it just came out in like January or something, but it is, you know, it's set in the olden days, kind of crazy. It was written by both Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss, the two creators of the show. It was directed by Douglas MacKinnon, who was done Doctor Who, among other things, you know. And it came out 2 years after season 3. And then 1 year after that, season 4 came out. It has 3 episodes. We have the first one directed by Rachel Talalay, who's a fantastic director, done a bunch of Doctor Who stuff as well as just a bunch of random famous shows and stuff. That was written by Mark Gatiss. Then we have episode 2, written by Stephen Moffat. We love him. Directed by Nick Hurren. And then we have episode 3, the final episode, directed by Benjamin Caron, and written by both creators of the show, Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat. So that's what we're watching, we're talking about today. Now, what did you think?
Now, EliteAri, we got a little bit of a structure I'm going to spring on you here, because we got to handle things in a particular way. First of all, last time you speculated about whether or not I knew anything about this Christmas episode. We're going to call it the Christmas episode, because that's what it is, EliteAri, of course.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, about 2 minutes before I started the episode, I got spoiled on what it was, because I was looking at the Wikipedia page, because I just wanted to make sure, like, how, like, the difference, the timeline of creation. I wanted to see when it came out compared to season 3 and season 4. Now, it was exactly what I thought, so that was a completely useless endeavor, but I did get spoiled on the fact that indeed it was set in the olden days, and that was pretty cool, so I was excited to watch it, because the olden days are better than the newen days, literally, as we all understand. Sherlock should be a show from the 1800s, then it would be cool, unlike the show we got. The other thing is, from what I understand, season 4 is the one that everybody hates, EliteAri. We hate season 4. So rather than me going first, EliteAri, because I have some interesting things to say, I want you to go first and say what you generally think about season 4, and then I'll jump in.
Okay, well...
Also, tell me if I'm correct about my perception of everybody hating season 4.
Yeah, so I was there, you know, at the time. Both season 3 and season 4 I watched like day to day or whatever. Like it came out like once a week or something, or once every 3 days or something. I think season 1 and 2 were like very, very universally liked. Season 3 I think was pretty much like universally liked, but like there were some people who were like, "Oh, I don't like this like wedding thing. You know, it was a bit different. I don't like there was stuff like that in season 3." Season 4, my understanding, like my memory was that I think people, they saw the first episode, the Six Thatchers, and they were like, man, like this is, I don't really know about this, and Mary's dying, and like there's a lot of like filler stuff, and like it's nothing's happening, Sherlock. Like that was, I think, the impression for the first episode. I think most people for the second episode were like, man, this is like some of the best Sherlock ever. Oh my goodness, crazy. Like this is really good. And then the third episode happened, everyone's like, this is probably the worst episode of Sherlock ever. How did it end like this? What happened? This is so bad. And whenever you go to like Reddit threads these days, like as I was doing like a few days ago, you'll see whenever people talk about the last episode, they'll be like, I can't believe they did this. Or when they'll be like, why did this happen? And then all the comments will be like, because they didn't know what they were doing when they were writing that final thing. And I'm like, okay, so I guess the general impression is that this last season was pretty poor, especially the last episode. That's my understanding of what people think. Now, my opinion at the time when I first watched was that I thought the first episode, The Six Thatchers, was undeniably the worst episode of Sherlock. I hated that episode when I first watched it. I think it was the only episode of Sherlock that I didn't like genuinely was like, this is not good, like up until that point. And then the second one I liked a lot, and the third one I thought was pretty good too. So now on this rewatch now, my new updated opinions, Six Thatchers I think is pretty okay. Like for some reason, I don't even know what I didn't like about it, which is interesting. I thought it was perfectly fine. It had some cool stuff. Like I liked the monologue at the beginning and the end. I didn't really like the Mary dying stuff, but that was a shock to me. I just completely forgot it happened. But that's that. Six Thatchers was like, okay. The lying detective, I think, is one of Sherlock's best, if only for the performance of the villain. I think he is a really interesting departure from a bunch of different villains in the show. I like him a lot. He's really interesting. So I like that second episode a lot. And then the third episode is an interesting one to swallow. I actually like it a lot. I think it's one of my favorite Sherlock episodes. But it does require the suspension of disbelief and to kind of assume that it's like a superhero kind of show, where it's like, oh, like Euros has like a special power. And it's like, as long as you assume that, I think it's a really good episode. And I think it is one of my favorites in Sherlock. So that's my overall opinion.
What about the special?
Oh, I didn't even talk about the special. I hate the special. So I completely forgot about it. Special is terrible. It's the most boring thing ever. Oh my god, I was struggling to get through it. For many reasons. I guess the most obvious reason is that it's like, first it's the olden days. I'm like what Kyle just said. I hate the olden days. So when I'm seeing it in this style, I'm like, oh my god, it's
I was
boring.
just saying that to make him mad, by the way. So
yeah,
I know EliteAri.
And the second thing is that it's like we're not committing to it. It's like, oh, we're doing the olden days, but it's also mixed with the present, and it's like, oh no, but it's also like in the past, and he's on drugs, and I don't like any of that. So to me, this special thing was boring, and I was not looking forward to it. And it kind of held true that it was also boring. I think I hated it more than I did the first time through, but anyway, yeah. So that's my thoughts, Kyle.
Interesting. Many things have been said. I wrote down some things to respond to. So overall, do you think season 4 is bad or the worst one, or?
No, I would say, well, is it the worst one? No, I think season 1 is probably worse. But to me, it's interesting. It's like, not like I said, I think I said this the first time we talked, and I say this every time. Sherlock evolves as it goes on. This season is like unrecognizable compared to season 1. But I do appreciate what it does, and I like it probably more than what season 1 was trying to go for. Like, this is very much, like I said, the superhero element of like Euros is kind of like that. And throughout this is a bunch of stuff with Sherlock like that too, where he's predicting things 2 weeks in the future, and it's like, how that's not possible, and it's like a superhero. So as long as you like suspend your disbelief for that, I think it works really well. But it's like a thing you didn't have to do back in like the early seasons. So I would say I like it probably just as much as like season 2 might be my favorite. Then season 3 and 4 are pretty similar, and then season 1's probably my least favorite.
Interesting. I guess I'm more conflicted. I envisioned my intro in this many times. You know, besides Mary is Dead, that was a pretty funny one, EliteAri, you must admit. But I could have seen myself opening as this is probably the worst one, right, EliteAri? Now, I don't think I would ever say it was the best one. But I also don't think I agree with that a little bit. But I think this might be tempered by the fact that I did watch one video like 15 minutes before we started, because EliteAri was playing Factorio and ignoring me, so I said I'll show him. So I watched. There's a channel called A Closer Look or whatever, and the video, because I didn't want to watch the Great H Bomber Guy video yet, EliteAri.
Yeah,
calm down. I'm super excited. I can't wait. But it was a video called like The Day Sherlock Died or something. And it was just about season 4 being bad. This was one of the most retarded videos I've ever seen. And it had terrible points in it. So I'm kind of like, season 4 is actually good, retard. But I don't know how much I think about that. An interesting thing you said is I think the worst part of this is easily the villain guy in episode 2. I didn't like at all.
Oh my goodness. Okay, interesting.
And I think I really like the 2 weeks ahead stuff in that episode too. So that's funny. The funny thing is, because in that video, they do make, one of the points they make was about the superhero stuff and how everything's kind of crazy in season 4. And I kept screaming at the screen internally, EliteAri. I'm not a psycho. I didn't actually scream. There was a vampire in episode 3 or something. That was the worst thing in all of Sherlock.
It was the golem. It was just the tall guy. What are you talking about? Come on.
He was a giant who snapped somebody's neck. It was the most retarded thing I ever saw.
That happens in real
There
life.
were ninjas in episode 2, EliteAri.
Ninjas exist. What are you talking about?
No, they don't. And they don't have crossbows that they set up out of nowhere. So Sherlock's always been retarded. So if you start disliking it because it's doing retarded shit, you're the retard. Let's stop saying that word, EliteAri. Let's be professionals around here. So that was pissing me off. And then you just said some of it. So EliteAri, you're not a very smart person either.
Hey, if you want to actually fight about this, I'll happily fight about this. I think it's clearly this is much less grounded than the earlier seasons. Even the 2 examples you gave are very grounded things that could exist. Euros like reading or reprogramming the minds of someone who is captivating it. That's not something that can happen.
That is
Having a
true,
5-minute
EliteAri.
conversation with Moriarty and setting up all these things that are going to happen like years later, it's not going to happen. Sherlock predicting things like 2 weeks in the
They've been
future to
setting up
the
things that
hour that
happen
is
way
really having a
later.
meeting. No, it can't happen.
Every episode, Sherlock does that 2 weeks later thing. But the Euros thing, fine. I think the Euros thing is like, doesn't break Sherlock as a show a little bit, but it's probably the coolest thing in the whole show. So
I probably agree.
I like it a lot.
It is really, yeah, it's a cool twist.
It would be like a great like horror movie thing. I think it's like a great idea.
Yeah.
There's so much like silly stuff, but Sherlock's always been very silly. Also, I hate John Watson, all right? This season is like, I hate this character. I've always hated him. And sometimes I pretended I didn't hate him, but he's just like my least favorite archetype embodied. I don't like him at all. But there's so many like fake out things that Sherlock has always done, right? Sherlock didn't die in the end of season 2 or whatever. And it's funny where like the whole season is sort of waiting for Moriarty to come back, but he never does. Which is cute. I like that part. But like, the Mary dying, I did buy it, I think, and then the episode started with the fake out. But then, like, the worst fake out is the he wasn't actually cheating thing, which was hilarious to me. I was like, because first of all, I figured out that Mary was gonna die because of the cheating storyline. I'm like, oh,
what?
He didn't. There was a scene where he was gonna like confess that he was cheating on her, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this means she's gonna die, so he can have like guilt over it. And then it happened. And I was kind of freaking out that I was right. So I wasn't 100% sure, but I did have that thought. And then when it was the next episode, they were just texting or whatever. And then there's a double twist where it's like, oh, she was actually the bad guy. Oh, she's actually the Sherlock sister. That was some crazy shit.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of twists like that. There's another one, but I'm forgetting the example of. So it's definitely, I guess, a messier season than we're used to. Season 3 is definitely the best one. The wedding episode was the best. That Sherlock's date. She was in it for like one shot or something.
True.
So that was pretty cool. And Sherlock's weird friend was back at EliteAri.
The drug guy?
Cool. Remember him? The drug guy, my favorite character in the show.
Yep.
But yeah, the special was pretty cool. EliteAri's just a hating ass hater.
Oh my god. What a boring.
We love the olden days. That screaming lady was pretty cool. Oh, the funniest through line in all of this EliteAri is like Sherlock apologizing and trying to be woke every 5 minutes. That was pretty hilarious.
What is that? I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about?
So there's a bunch of things where I feel like it's almost certain that they're like responding to criticisms they've gotten for like being, because they do it with the gay thing where they like comment on how it's like not funny to joke about that. They do.
I don't remember this at all. What was that?
In the special, there's like, honestly, I don't remember, but I remember thinking it, so it must have happened. There's it's definitely a Watson scene where he's sad and maybe he's talking to his fake therapist at some point. He has a real therapist at some point too, right?
Yeah.
It's like a black lady.
Before and after Mary dies, he swaps.
You know, I watched these all like a week ago. You know, EliteAri was slow, so I've forgotten some details. Oh, there was the thing in season 4 where not season 4, the special where it was like, oh, the great oppressed women are here to stand up for themselves or whatever. I probably have them all in little notes throughout the episode, but there was other things, especially with the women, where it was another like, oh, let's not do like light misogyny anymore or perceived as that. So that was very funny. That was definitely something I think was probably the most thing I thought was funny. I just saw a big thing that said Mycroft is fat, and I was like, did that play into it? But I can't remember later. He was fat in his flashback and in the special, so that was crazy. That video I watched was really bad. It was another one where it was like, it's funny because it specifically was shit talking the second episode of season 4, and it was like, this is obviously the worst episode ever, where everything falls off. And he kept comparing it to the dumb dog episode, which is probably the actual worst Sherlock episode. With this completely boring dog episode of EliteAri. You got to agree with me.
No, I like it. It's good. Hound of Baskerville.
And he was like, they're the same episode, but the dog one is good because there's no Deus Ex Machinas, and because Sherlock is like actually solving crimes. And every comment on this fucking video was about how, you know, they didn't have to do all these silly plot twists in season 3 and season 4. They just had to have the two guys solving mysteries or whatever. And that video also complained that there was no mystery in the last episode, which was retarded. What happened to the fucking dog is the mystery. Catch on.
True.
And also, obviously the character stuff is much better than shitty fucking mysteries, EliteAri. So they can take this Sherlock shit and shove it up their ass. These idiots are all stupid. Because I remember I watched the first 30 minutes of that fucking H-Bomber guy, and it was all about how Sherlock betrays Sherlock, you know? So that's upsetting, and we should dislike it because of that. And I don't want to hear that talking point ever again. Oh, the final thing in the silly intro is I didn't know that it wasn't like a definitive finale. And that seems to be a lot of like, because on the wiki page, there's like speculation about another season. I'm like, and that's like when I realized that season 4, episode 3 wasn't like a finale. Because I went into it thinking, thinking it's a finale makes it much more interesting because you do feel like Mycroft can die. Or even like Watson could die or something because it's like the last episode. But knowing, because I did at some point find that out, it was like, oh, well, this is a little less tense here. I think it feels like a good finale. It feels like it. I guess like
well, it's the only season not on a cliffhanger.
That's true, I guess. Yeah. And there's also oh, and the secret sister it is like a silly like. You didn't know that they had a sister or whatever thing. It kind of does feel like maybe you're running out of ideas, so that even plays into it, I think.
Right, okay, that's way. Definitely. This is like the most Stephen Moffat thing in the world. He does this in Doctor Who a bunch. It'll be twists like this where it's like you didn't expect this, then it happens, and it's like, okay. I don't think he's running out of ideas. He's just his style of writing. Too. Yeah.
So yeah, I think getting mad at that stuff, like Sherlock having silly twists, is like the whole show. So I don't.
Yeah, that's Stephen Moffat.
I feel like the criticisms of these shows are gonna annoy me a little bit later when we delve into them a little bit more. But so season 4, did I like it? I don't know. What did I just say?
You said you probably didn't hate it, but who knows? Maybe.
No, that's what I was gonna say until I was radicalized about 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
So hold on. Special was pretty good, I guess. I like the lady. She was like laughing and stuff and shooting people. I like olden times. Sees episode 1. Mary is boring too, so who cares about that? Did other stuff happen in episode 1? Anything cool happening with Sherlock?
I don't know. I think it was like fine. It was just like Mary backstory stuff with Agra and Ammo, and Mycroft went on a date with his lady, or maybe they didn't.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's like a thing. Yeah, that was funny. Episode 2, the villain was obviously just trying to recreate the great bad guy from season 3. So that was bad.
Which guy? From season 3,
the creepy mean guy that was flicking. I was like, oh, you're just trying to one up that, but I'm not. Just the idea of like a gross bad guy. He felt in the same vein, and it felt like, oh, we're doing this again because it works so well. But I was just like, you're no great bald man with the glasses.
I mean, that is true. I probably like Magnus, whatever his name is, Charles Augustus Magnuson. He was probably better. But I like this season 4 guy a lot. I don't really compare them. It didn't even cross my mind. Like, this guy's so like energetic,
that was like
or whatever.
The first thing I saw. Well, I
really?
thought rather.
Well, what's the? I don't get the comparison really.
They were very gross, mean, bad guys.
But they're different people, like very different people.
They are. One of them's a short, little, fat guy, and one of them's a tall guy. But they're like the same thing.
Well, one of them's just like quiet and subdued, and the other is like annoying and like talking all the time.
But they're like powerful and rich guys, and they like get in your space and trick you and stuff. No good.
I guess I don't see that at all, but okay.
Also, episode 2 is a lot of Watson stuff, and we hate that guy, as we've come to realize. This is like when I realized I hated Ina when we were watching season 2 of Vinland Saga. So episode 2, even though I'm thinking that, I still think I liked episode 2. You know, Sherlock must have been doing some good stuff. And then episode 3 was what a spectacular time.
Sure, it's like a Marvel movie. It's great. We love it.
No, it was like a cool horror movie. Okay.
And Moriarty doesn't. He's not bad.
Bro, she's just gonna talk to you, and then she'll control you and stuff. That's crazy, EliteAri. What's she gonna say?
Who knows?
And I bought it. I was like, this is cool. This is like a weird, cool character.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't like the resolution. She just wanted a hug or something.
Yeah, that was very sad and amazing. I like that bit actually. Oh my goodness.
You would. Were you like, oh, the parents are gonna go see her now?
No, I didn't care about the parents. But when they were at the end and they were like, Sherlock was playing the violin and the family was watching, I'm like, oh, this is so cute. So I like that.
I don't like the violin.
Yeah, you don't like the violin, yeah. It's because it's too authentic and you like authenticity.
Nobody knows how to play music. It's just something people pretend.
All right, anything else you want to say?
No, I think we should go episode by episode now in our traditional format for the very last time.
All right, we will begin with the special episode, which is called...
Special.
You tell me what it's called. What's it called?
I don't fucking know.
The Abominable Bride. Interesting title.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, this, as we've said, it takes place in the olden days. It's kind of recreating a few of the early moments in like season 1, but like in the olden style, and then it goes into its own thing and like does its own kind of story, which doesn't necessarily have a conclusion, but and ends with a ghost of a corpse attacking Sherlock. Yeah. What do you want to say about this?
The ladies, they did it.
Uh-huh.
It was epic. We love the olden days. John Watson had a mustache. Could you believe that? And he was also in a different war, an olden time war, so that was pretty cool. And London looked old. It looked like that Nosferatu movie. That's pretty cool. And Sherlock, and we were doing our best hits. We were doing a bunch of callbacks. The fat guy that introduced them that we never saw again.
Yeah, that guy.
That was pretty epic.
Yep.
Molly was a boy. Could you believe that?
Yeah, that was crazy. I can believe that.
There was Lestrade had weird sideburns. We didn't like that. And
yep.
There was a guy, and he had like orange seeds or something.
Yeah.
And they broke in, and there was a crazy. I like the lady EliteAri. She was saying, what was she saying? You. And then she was shooting people.
You.
She had weird makeup.
True.
Yeah, she was that. We liked that lady.
Yep.
And then they were all ladies when they took their hoods off.
Yeah, and all ladies that we recognize, like Janine from last season that you like so much at the wedding.
That's true. That's where they were. That's where they were. Yep. That's where she was. Terrific.
And this also...
Remember that one scene?
Yeah,
Shut up, EliteAri. Season 3 was so good. Remember that one scene where Sherlock is like in like a big room and there's a bunch of potential victims or whatever, and they're all ladies, and he's like getting rid of them all?
That was very good. Yeah.
Oh, and remember when Sherlock fell on a bed or something, and I made that my Twitter picture for
that is true. That was very well done.
The greatest shot in it. Oh, that's a big overall point, EliteAri. That was probably the other one. The thing we should have talked about. Isn't it crazy how people don't talk about Sherlock like it's the greatest looking television show of all time?
It is, yeah. It is funny. It is a very cinematic or like weird.
What do you think?
Show.
Shitty dragon from Game of Thrones is this good? I don't think so, EliteAri.
Yeah.
Stupid shit. No, I'd never seen an inventive shot in a fucking TV show besides this one. Oh, now we've seen the Great Blonde EliteAri. Now that's pretty good. That's better than Sherlock almost.
Maybe.
Probably. You know, but television, I ain't never seen this shit. And that's not what people bring up when they talk about Sherlock. They talk about something else. I don't know what they talk about, frankly.
They talk about,
but
I don't even know. They talk about stuff. Who knows?
Does Doctor Who look like this, EliteAri?
No, not even. No, I'm trying to think. Is there any ever a time that looks like this? No, I don't think so.
So where did this come from?
I assume it probably came from like it definitely come from season 1. I don't know who would be responsible for it, but maybe the director of the pilot. I would assume like whoever set the tone of that initial episode.
Did it start in season 1?
The interesting directing, probably like, but it wasn't. It was like obviously it was elevated at the pilot of season 2, but I'm pretty sure it's always been there at least somewhat.
Is the pilot of season 2 the lady one?
That's the bad one, yeah, with
okay, so that's when it started. There was a boomerang shot, and they were in the fucking forest, and then they were in the room, and she was getting naked, and we were Oh my goodness, EliteAri, we were cutting around things. Nothing's ever been better. Yep. And can you believe she didn't actually come back? We just referenced her. That was pathetic.
Yeah, I was about to say. I wonder if that's like a thing with the actor, because obviously, at least when I'm watching this, in this episode, the wife lady, she's meant to be the Irene Adler like actor. Clearly, like she looks very similar to her. I don't know what her name was. The wife of the guy who got the seeds
in the special.
The special. Like she looks a lot like her, and also Sherlock like says, "Oh, her cheekbones are like very defined," and clearly we're meant to think of the woman because that's like the thing they kept saying about her, or Irene Adler.
They did reference her.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is she like? They couldn't get the actor, or like is there like something going on here?" And she didn't come back the rest of the season either. And I was like, "Oh, I guess like something happened." I don't know. That felt weird to me.
We're no longer sexualizing women in Sherlock. We went woke, as I pointed out, so she can't come back. Sorry.
Yeah. I guess speaking of real life,
that is the biggest takeaway, EliteAri. We're finished with Sherlock now, and you know what I'm going to think? I'm going to think that guy was doing some deductions. John Watson sucks, and boy, is that the best looking television show that's ever been made.
Yes, and that guy had glasses, but it was all in his memory when he was reading the pressure points on people. It was great.
Glasses.
Season 3 finale. He like had the glasses with the thing he was reading, but it was all in his mind palace. When he opened the door, he's like, "I don't have glasses. It's in my mind palace."
Oh, that's true. That's true. There was one thing in like a comment section I read that everybody kept making fun of that was just normal. Oh, it was the charging port thing from like the first episode or something. Everybody was making fun of that for being stupid.
Oh, that's like everyone. That's like a meme at this point where everyone actually thinks about it. Like I think about that whenever I miss my like port on my phone. I'm like, oh my god, I bet they could think I'm drunk right now. Like unironically, that's not even me joking. I think of that every time I miss it. It's like I don't know how it's stuck with my mind so much.
Maybe they weren't making fun of it. Maybe they were just relating like you to a situation that. It lives rent free. We call that rent free.
It is actually crazy how like. they're not gonna come to me now, but there's many moments in the show when I'm watching it, I'm like, man, like I think of this. Like it like is a part of who I am. Like I don't even know how to explain this. Like the phone charging thing is one of them. But like Moriarty showing up in the final episode and his scene there, like all the time, every now and then I'll sing that song and I'm like, I want to break free or whatever. I'll sing that and it's like from Sherlock. That's the first time I ever heard it. And it's like, wow, that's kind of crazy that like I learned it from this show. And it's like I'm watching the scene again like 10 years later. Anyway, yeah. Sherlock's a weird show.
That underground Queen song, I Want to Break Free, that is from Sherlock.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the most popular song ever. I just learned it from Sherlock. So it's like Sherlock is like part of it to me. It's like weird. Yeah, Sherlock, what a guy. What a show. And Mycroft was fat in this one episode. That's crazy.
That's true. Yeah. And he was trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
Sad.
Now, what on earth are we going to... Do you have anything else to say about this episode?
Oh, I'll just go through my bit-by-bit notes.
Yep.
I got spoiled on the premise of the Christmas episode about 2 minutes before starting it. I love the olden times. We went through that, EliteAri. Oh, and there's a big joke about twins and how it's never twins, EliteAri.
True.
I don't know why I wrote that down. Maybe I thought it was going to be twins before they said it. And then I thought it was going to be twins, because I think that's brought up in the next episode, but it also wasn't. So Mycroft is fat, hilarious. H-Bomber guy ain't going to like that. Oh, yeah, I was trying to predict. Is he going to be mad that we're fat-shaming here? That's not nice. It's annoying that this show is good. Like, the wacky visual perspective is the best directed TV show ever. God, I just repeat myself.
Yep.
Is Cab called Cab because of cabin? Oh, my goodness.
No way. I have no idea.
Because they were like, let's call a cab. And it was a cabin with a horse. So that's got to be where it comes from, EliteAri.
Maybe.
Or your great Stephen Moffat or whatever doesn't know shit and was using language incorrectly in historical periods.
That's very possible.
Or it was part of the mythos of the episode because we weren't actually in the past and it was just Sherlock, freaking out or something. So it was supposed to be a hint. I guess it's a thing to talk about, is that I kind of like that it was like completely self-contained and like we weren't going to address, but then it did cross over with the actual storyline.
You did like that, or you didn't like that?
I don't know how I feel about that, EliteAri, frankly. I was liking that it wasn't initially, and then it happened, and I was like, I don't really have the energy to be mad at this.
Yeah, I did. Don't worry.
Because I was being lazy?
I didn't like it.
Or so you wish it was just all olden times?
Yeah, and I wish it had like yeah, I do wish that. This is a conversation we should have, okay? Drugs are like a big deal in this season specifically. Like it
Sherlock
is interesting.
I got to think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this drug thing the whole time has been fake. Like they mentioned Sherlock's on drugs, it's never happened once, or it's happened off stream and he's like sleeping at a homeless shelter, but it was actually for a case or something. And so it's funny that like it's in this one, so it's not fake. Yeah. And I probably said it was fake and Sherlock's never on drugs at some point, and you giggled at me. And now I know that you were emboldened with the evidence of this series, this season. So well done, EliteAri.
Yeah, but it's a thing where I'm like, I don't know what I think about it. Like I think it would be, I don't think I like it as like a story thing. I just find it kind of uninteresting. Whenever it happens, I'm like, oh, we're doing like a wacky, like, we don't know what's real. I don't know. I didn't like, especially in this episode, I just didn't like it.
It's cool when people go on drugs and then we get a dream sequence from it. It's not so cool when you can't tell if it's like when they're doing something stupid or awkward.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, you're fucking up your real life, silly. Get off these drugs. Remember in Harry Potter what's the sixth one? Half-Blood Prince? That was a cool version of that. Harry got high, but it just helped him do things. It didn't fuck him up.
Indeed.
But I'm sure there's some examples of a show where they awkwardly do something and it fucks up their relationship while they're on drugs. And I didn't like that. But what's the example? We'll never know, EliteAri.
Yep. True. Okay.
Were you saying something?
Yeah, I was saying I don't like the drugs and stuff. Especially, I just don't like the ending of this episode, which I don't, unless I'm forgetting. Did something happen after the corpse in the coffin came to life and it didn't confirm anything? And there was like no second corpse, and I'm like, what? I don't know what's happening.
I do remember a corpse coming to life now.
Yeah.
And I think they dug it up in modern times, right?
Yeah, they did, yeah. But also, who knows if any of that actually happened. But I guess that's the whole thing for me, where I'm like, when I'm watching Sherlock, I like the characters, but it is, like, I think I am like most people, where I like the mystery and stuff. And this episode is like, it feels weird to me. Like, what was the answer? Like,
it was a feminist army of women.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you know what? I guess that is what it is. And the final confirmation of finding the second corpse was like, it feels like such a stretch. I don't know. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine. It's just bad. It is what it is. I can't justify it, but it's bad.
What it is, what it is, what it is.
Yeah, I just made a Sherlock reference. Did you realize? It is what it is. It becomes a thematic thing. It's kind of crazy. But yeah,
They never said that in
they
Sherlock.
say it 3 times, and it like ties in or whatever. But yeah,
I don't remember any of this.
we'll get to it. But yeah, women, they create a
and
legend
also
to scare the men. Isn't that crazy?
True, because these men need to be scared, EliteAri. We watch Blood. They're getting out of control.
Yeah.
Now, there was a scene where he fought Moriarty on a waterfall, EliteAri, and that was teasing the great dog that drowned. Except it wasn't a dog, EliteAri, but we didn't know.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah, that is true. But also, that's like the famous Reichenbach fall. Like that's in the original story. That's how Sherlock, quote unquote, died until he came back.
So you just know all the lore, EliteAri.
Well, this is the one lore I know, but it was like this is a reference to that scene, it is very funny they put it in this episode because like we have our one chance that we're gonna include all the iconic like iconography. We have to include the Reichenbach fall when we're doing our like dated like old time episode.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I wish I knew all the lore so I could soy out too. But actually, and I think he even has a moment where he thinks back to this waterfall fight when he's like trying to figure out what happened to his dog.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
In the last episode, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
At one point in this episode, EliteAri, he screams "Elementary."
My dear Watson.
I said that's the name of that other show.
Yep, that is true.
So that must be a famous Sherlock thing. Do you think they were scared to say it in this great show because that other show was still going on?
No, I think they could say it. I think they did say it in this episode, and that's why, because they weren't afraid.
No, they should have been scared. I watched that other show. Watson was a hot Chinese lady, and that's way better than this fucking Hobbit loser.
The Sherlock's smarter sister was a lady too in this, okay? So
she was epic, EliteAri. We like her, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Mycroft being so nice in this one is my last note on this point.
Oh, like
this was kind of another thing throughout. I don't remember what scene.
Well, you're probably thinking about the drugs, where he's like, oh, whenever my brother has a thing, he always has a list of all his taken, and he'll give it to me, and I'll make sure that he's okay or whatever.
Maybe I remember that scene now, but I feel like this was a thing in this season a lot too, where it was like Mycroft. I feel like he was, a thorn in our side for a little while, but now he's just got the best interests of his brother at heart or whatever, and it's very obvious. Now, before it was like he was pretending he didn't care about his brother, but his unemotional actions would sometimes illogically benefit him, and you could infer that he cares about his widow brother.
Oh,
but in here, he was just outward with it.
Yeah, mainly because of the drugs.
Do we like that? Who knows? I guess the drugs would bring it out. He's seeing a great what a great trouble Sherlock is going through.
True.
That's all I got about the great special episode.
Abominable Bride, yes. So now we can finally
Abominable episode, EliteAri thinks.
Amen. Yeah, it was not very good, but it is what it is. Now we have episode 1, the Six Thatchers. So firstly, did you know who Margaret Thatcher was before this episode?
Of course, EliteAri. I know everything about history, but you still don't know who Margaret Thatcher is.
I'm fairly sure the first time I ever heard her name was probably in this episode, like 10 years ago. So yeah, but here we are. So,
do you like her bust, EliteAri?
It was fine.
I remember our ancient history class, grade 11, we're sitting there, and the teacher says, this is a bust of Aristotle or some boring shit, and everybody starts giggling in class.
That's very funny.
That means boobs, EliteAri. What the fuck is she talking about?
Okay, so in this episode...
And then Aristotle's penis was on the next slide, I think.
That's unbelievable. Why on earth did they... Why on earth, last season, the last episode, they have this relationship drama and they settle it, and now we're opening with relationship drama? Like, why? I don't get it. Like, I was very happy with the conclusion last episode. It was like heartfelt and everything, and now we have this whole, we're doing it again. John is cheating. She's becoming a spy again. Like, why are we going to solve all this one more time? It's so weird to me.
It's especially weird because we're just killing her at the end. Like, and why is the cheating thing so half-assed?
I like the cheating thing a lot. I think it's very well done. Because it is all about John thinking he's doing worse than he is, and that's the point at the end where he's like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. He's such a good guy.
No, I think it's the No, I think now I'm just trying to piece it together. The it is what it is thing. I think it happens like 3 times. I think one is when I
remember him saying it now.
If I remember correctly, I think it is during the scene where he's like talking about the cheating stuff, and he's like, it was just texting or whatever. It is what it is or whatever. Is that what it? Do you remember if that was the scene?
Yeah, I think he says it there, but it's kind of like I don't think he means it when he says it there.
Because to me, the most important other time it happens is at the end with Euros, where Sherlock is talking about like, oh, I won't be able to see her, whatever, and John is like, it is what it is. And to me, it feels like the point is that it's like, these are 2 people who are like good people, and they're like, they don't necessarily do the best things all the time, but like, it is what it is. Like, they're good fundamentally or something. That's like my broad reading of what happens, I think, with that. It is what it is.
I guess I don't care if any of them are bad people at all. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a dissensitivity, dissociation, Maybe it's because I've seen so many shows where it's like actually supposed to be a thing about whether or not they're like how bad the bad guy main character is or whatever. But it's like Sherlock is just so clearly like most of the time a good guy that I don't even care to engage with this potential moral conundrum or whatever.
I don't think it's a moral thing at all.
Especially with fucking John Watson.
No, I don't think it's a moral. At least I don't find the moral thing interesting at all. I agree with you there. Well, I think, but I just find it. I like it as a character thing. I don't care about the morality or the prescription or anything. I like that it's like I like that John is so stressed about like the like texting thing, and Sherlock is just like it's literally just texting, bro. Like it is what it is. And I like that at the end Sherlock is so worried about his sister, and John is like, you tried. It is what it is. Like I like that. Not because it's like telling me something or like, oh, you should be doing this or you're a bad person. I like it because it's like the characters think that way. Yeah.
Oh, I remember I mentally tied this in with my wokeism agenda where it was like, oh, John Watson has to do like a bad thing now because we can't have this man be the what do you call it? A Mary Sue or whatever. That's not really what it is. Because Mary Sue's like solve everything, right? But it's such a good guy, a paragon of goodness. So he had like a cheating thing, but not really. But anyway. I guess that doesn't really make sense if I don't think it ended up happening. So
wow.
There was something actually important to say there. Sometimes you just kind of forget that John Watson, something, he's doing a thingy. Mary's dead. True.
They got divorced.
R.I.P.
in real life. I think
they were married in real life.
Yeah, John and Mary, they're actors. They were married at some point. I think they got divorced. Wait, when was it? Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it was like during the.
That's why she got killed off.
I think it was when they were filming the season 4. No, it's obviously not why she got killed off.
And they were filming season 1, and that's why she got killed off.
Yeah, maybe.
No, because they shot her in separate. No, she's always in the same shot as him.
Yeah.
But they're in separate shots,
True.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. It's funny. That happens sometimes where it's like, oh, they're actually together in real life, and that makes everybody say, didn't you know that's why their chemistry is so good? Remember they used to say that about the Amazing Spider-Man? There's yes, they did. Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield were dating in real life, EliteAri. Get invested.
Sorry, I was drinking some water. That's crazy. My goodness.
And that was the best part of those movies, so what can I say?
Yep.
We're going to watch them soon, EliteAri. 2026, here we come. Now, what was I saying? Mary, she's dead. Oh, the original point, EliteAri, was that we were retreading some old ground. Yeah. That was definitely a thing in this season a little bit too. This relationship stuff was kind of like that. Sherlock and Watson being mad at each other in episode 2, that was probably the thing I actually hated the most in that episode, and I didn't even bring it up before, but I was like, I don't care that Watson, for some reason, thinks Sherlock is somehow to blame for Mary dying or whatever, which was totally retarded to me.
How? What are you talking about? How is that retarded?
Why? She jumped in front of the bullet by herself?
Yeah, but she went there because Sherlock told her to. Like, Sherlock brought her there. Safe. Yeah, and he, like, promised that he'd keep her safe.
Wasn't the guy literally, like, right behind him in the fucking desert or whatever?
What do you mean?
Well, it's not like she was going to be safe anyway if she kept running, because the guy was right there to shoot at her, right?
The guy was dead. What are you talking about?
The guy in the desert that's, like, following them.
Yeah. What about it?
He's not dead when he's following them.
Yeah, then he dies. What are you talking about?
Because Sherlock's there to help her out. What
are you saying? I don't know what you're saying. What's it to do with her dying? She didn't die there. She died later.
The point is... Yeah, and you're trying to say she only dies later because Sherlock stopped her from running away, right?
No, because Sherlock told her to go to the aquarium.
Oh.
What is that? I don't know what the running away thing.
Why did he say that?
Because
I thought they went to the aquarium together.
Yeah, they did. He said, well, I'll meet you there. He wanted all 3 of them to go there. Like, obviously from John's perspective, he would think that, oh my god, if only Sherlock didn't tell her to go there, if only Sherlock didn't goad on this, like, person who was, like, clearly...
No, even this is retarded.
How? I don't understand. Like, you can say, logically, if I break down and have an objective morality and I have, like, a position of, like, I have this and it's rooted and whatever, but clearly that's not the case. John is, like, a human and is thinking, like, man, if only Sherlock didn't do this and promised me he's gonna, like, do this, and, like, he was reckless with my wife and reckless with the person in front of him, and...
Oh, here goes EliteAri's fucking mumbling. Even if Sherlock was much more directly at fault for her death, I don't buy that John Watson would be mad at him anyway. So... even past the logical problems, like from a character point, it just feels like, oh, they got to be mad at each other for the premise of another episode, because that's something we do sometimes in Sherlock, and it's interesting to do it again. Supposedly, it wasn't.
What was the last time? I don't remember. What was the getting mad at Sherlock thing?
When he died and he came back, and
you don't buy that? You don't buy he's mad at that?
Him? No, that one we buy, but I'm talking about the retreading.
You're not complaining about the retreading though. I would understand complaining about the retreading. You're complaining about the fact that you don't buy that John would be mad about it. Wait, so you don't actually...
No, that's the problem this time.
That's the price of the thing I care about. I don't care about the retreading thing. I would agree with you on that.
You're the one that complained about the retreading first.
That's why I agree with you about the retreading. I'm saying the problem is the John thing. You have an issue with John being mad here or whatever?
Yes, I hate this John Watson.
And you're not saying, and you're saying it's Sherlock not because of the retreading. And then he
forgives him immediately because obviously this is all bullshit the whole time, and not from a cute character way either. Because we're doing lazy stuff. Because episode 2 sucks.
I'm just trying to understand if you're like not understanding the character thing, but I feel like you can't because it's so obvious and simple. Like every human has this, whereas like you have to be understanding this. So there's something else I'm not getting here.
No humans have this, and
you're not that dumb. You obviously know what is happening here. Explain it to me. Why do you think John is mad?
John is mad this time because he thinks Sherlock is responsible.
Do you think he'd be mad if Sherlock didn't promise that he'd keep them safe?
Do I think he would still be mad or wouldn't be mad?
Do you think he would have been mad if Sherlock hadn't made this promise about continually saying, I'm going to keep you safe, leave Mary to me, like, I'll look after her.
I think this doesn't matter because I think he shouldn't be mad at all. So it's irrelevant.
What does that mean? What do you mean he shouldn't be mad at all?
Well, because I think he's only mad because we want to do a they're mad at each other storyline. So the being mad is artificial no matter what in this scenario where she jumps in front of the bullet. No matter what Sherlock...
All right, why do you think that's the case?
Unless he had warned her that she was gonna, like, he said this lady's not gonna shoot, and then she shot or something.
So why do you think it's like an artificial storyline?
Because I got that vibe. How am I ever gonna think that? What do you think?
I don't know.
Watson has to contradict himself for me to think that?
I think you'd have some reason, right? Like, because I would assume if you're watching the scene, you'd be like, man, this, like, I understand this. Humans could happen to a person like John. I could easily imagine this. But you're saying like, even if I could imagine this happening, it's artificial. So like, I don't buy it.
Well, first of all, I can't imagine it happening. Second of all, even if it could, it doesn't mean I would like it, even if I felt that it was natural or something.
Yeah, so you can't imagine it happening? Is that true?
John Watson being mad because she jumped in front of the bullet?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not possible.
Okay, you're just dumb. That's okay. But let's move on. Okay. You don't understand the soul of John Watson. Yeah, because you just don't understand.
Oh, I hate this fucking John Watson. He's the worst.
You know why you hate him? Because you don't have the capacity to understand him. You know, he is too great a man. That is the problem here.
That's true. Yeah. And that is what we're going to say about people who criticize the great season 4 episode 3. So
absolutely,
we'll put that argument in our back pockets for later.
So now let's talk about the son who died in his car. Can you believe it? He had a seizure or something.
True. He had a Power Ranger or something on his fucking car.
Yep. I like that. That was probably the best mystery in this episode.
What the fuck was this episode? Hold on, I'm trying to...
It was just a collection of... I don't even know.
It was a Thatcher. The Thatcher was there. That's why that...
I have to say, about the Thatcher thing, it is the most, like, stretch that this... I don't know. Like, Sherlock happens to run into the Thatcher thing.
EliteAri.
Huh?
Because the woke people hate Margaret Thatcher, and Sherlock was making snide comments all the time. Wait, no, he wasn't because he didn't know who he was, but maybe Watson was or something. And like all these old rich people were like, yeah, we love Margaret Thatcher, but we hate Margaret Thatcher, Leary. She was conservative.
This might be a point that went over my head. I have no idea. I don't know enough about it. But
it's just a vibe.
What was I saying? Oh, this is a stretch. The whole reason Sherlock gets involved with this Thatcher thing is he just happens to see the destroyed or like stolen Thatcher thing at the car guy's house.
Well, he thinks it's missing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he does. But like, how is like, what a weird coincidence that the guy who Mary was a co-worker with happened to steal this Thatcher statue.
Shit is dumb.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's weird. I don't know. I just don't buy it.
I don't know. All of Sherlock's dumb.
I don't think it's ever that dumb. It can be dumb.
There was a fucking mutt that wasn't there in that shitty episode I hate from season 2 EliteAri.
Yeah, that was like the central thing of the episode, though. This one's like, we couldn't think of a better way to tie in Mary's backstory to like the present day. I don't know. You know what? It's fine though. You know,
and it was weird because we already did a backstory. So retreading's bad, EliteAri, just like when Sherlock and John Watson were mad at each other.
I'd probably agree with you.
No.
But yeah, the son guy dies in his car, and I thought this was cool. I also for some reason I thought he died of an allergy. When I was remembering this episode.
Oh, EliteAri, I got another funny. True. He did have a seizure. I got another funny callback to our previous discussions. Remember how I was so smart in season 1 when I made fun of them for having high definition Skype? And once again, it was low definition here. And I said, that's more realistic. What a good job, show. You've improved. Now, EliteAri did make fun of me for caring that it was in high definition. So once again, I was vindicated by the future, which is the present.
True. Congratulations.
And now the past, I guess.
All right. I don't have many more notes, but I have some. I have a quote here from this random guy with a Japanese tattoo. When Sherlock explains stuff to him, like his reasoning is like, I thought you'd done something clever, but now that you've explained it, it's really simple, isn't it? I was like, man.
Oh, wait, he's not Japanese, but
he has a Japanese tattoo.
Having sex with a Japanese lady or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or he was, yeah.
Yeah. But I thought that was very funny. I'm like, yeah, good point. Now that Sherlock does explain it, it is really simple. He's just linking simple things together. And that really got to Sherlock, and it really bothered him, and I thought that was funny and great.
We love deductions in this show, right? They're the very best.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
Oh, let me go through my great notes. Oh, here we go, EliteAri. Lots of progressive theming since the end of season 3. Anti-Thatcher, women, and Mary is better than John. There must have been a comment about how Mary knows how everything's going because she's the best. There's even a moment on the gay jokes being insensitive. See, it must happen, EliteAri. I wrote it down. She nearly said the F word. True, EliteAri. Somebody nearly swore in this. I don't remember who it was, but they cut him off.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait. It was when he was, like, walking around. No, it was in the second episode. I don't know about this one. I have no idea.
True. Good, funny sequence, though. So whatever it was good, EliteAri. Mary kind of sucks. Is that why people don't like the latter part of the show? True, I was blaming it all on Mary.
It might be. I don't know.
I thought she might die after the cheating subplot. He never got to admit to her, ! With like a crying thingy. True, so I'm a genius. John is mad at Sherlock for real. True, I was mad about that even then. Men will do anything but go to therapy on God. True, EliteAri.
But they do.
Oh, that's supposed to be a wokeism joke. But that wasn't a joke in 2016, so we're stretching that one. But those are all my notes from the great, bad, okay, maybe first episode.
Okay, I have some.
Sherlock fought a guy in the pool.
That's what my next note was going to be. The main thing I remembered from this episode was the glowing pool in the dark. I was like, when I was thinking of the Six Thatchers, I'm like, yeah, that's the one with the glowing pool. I remember that. But it's like barely much of a scene in this, but it really stuck out to me. I guess it's like a striking visual. Like, oh my gosh, look at this. It's like glowing. Oh my god.
True, that's scary. You don't want to be fighting in the water, EliteAri. You might drown.
Yeah. Well, another thing this episode does, which I actually liked, was it opens with a narrator monologue from Sherlock talking about some like death person, some ghost you see when you go to some place. And
oh yeah,
I didn't really understand it at all, but it sounded cool how when he was saying it, I'm like, oh my god, Sherlock's like delivering a monologue, and it sounds super cool. And then like the end of the episode closes with him like finishing the monologue, and it's like, oh, what a cool idea.
And yeah. Mycroft says in the episode, like, you never liked that when we were little.
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, he brings up the poem.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I hate poems, so...
Sherlock, like, changed the ending or something. That was, like, a thing.
Yeah, this just went over my head, you know? It was symbolic. I don't like symbolic, like, language stuff in shows, so
I feel like you've complained in the past about opening things with, like, quotes or something.
Oh, I hate it, yeah. I'm telling you, I didn't understand a single thing he said in this opening, but I liked it because it was delivered really cool. I was like, wow, Sherlock's, like, doing a cool, like, delivery here. He's, like, speaking serious and slow and stuff, and we're seeing a visual of a shark. But I could not tell you what it meant. It's just trying
to be Uncharted, bro. Uncharted opens with a quote every time. It's so cool.
Oh, anyway. Okay, that was episode 1. The Six Thatchers.
A Black Sail season open with that?
With the narration? Yeah, probably season 4, I think. Previously. I feel like it's season 4.
It opens the flash forward, where there's... What's the fucking idiot's name? John Silver is sinking or whatever. Spoilers.
Yeah. All right. Episode 2, The Lying Detective. So...
He was straight lying around.
True. There's one thing I like the most in this episode, so I can immediately talk about this. It is definitely the twist of the daughter. I like the way it's directed. I like the moment it happens in. I like that it does throw Sherlock off. And it's
Are they different actresses?
Yes, they are most certainly different. Yeah, they look very different.
See, that's another misogyny thing. You didn't even look at the woman's face, EliteAri. You didn't even know.
Yeah, well, did you pick it up? Like, were you like, oh, they're like different?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it's possible to, like, there probably are some people who picked it up. I was definitely not one of them. Wait,
all the great women out there.
Did you pick up the 3 women who Euros was pretending to be? They were the same person? Or did I get any suspicion of that or anything?
No, not before it happened.
Okay, yeah, neither did I. But that's like now on the second watch through, it is much more obvious. Like the daughter, like 2-actor thing is much more difficult to tell. The Euros playing the 3 different people, she looks very, like when you see it the second time, you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely her. Yeah. But it was super cool when she pretended to be the daughter, and then Sherlock is like, she's coming in to, you'll recognize the 3 steps or whatever, and then she steps in, and it's like, who are you? I don't recognize you. And then there's like a whole cool montage and music, and there's like a 3D camera of her spinning around as he's like examining his past memories, and it's super duper cool. So best thing in this episode. Maybe.
True. Who cares about the reveal?
You know what? I think this reveal, the way it's directed, is probably up there with the bed thing as like some of my favorite, like just directing of like abstract sequences in the whole show. So yeah.
I don't remember it at all, so we'll take EliteAri's word. Excellent. But what was cool is Sherlock's date with his to-be-revealed sister. That was very cute. They got chips. They were walking around. He spelled words in the street names as he was going.
Yep.
So that was cute. And I liked that sequence a lot. Because that was a good moment where he was kind on drugs. That was pretty cool. We liked that one.
Yeah, I did like that.
And no John Watson. Oh, this show's always so great when Sherlock's got a different partner, don't you think, EliteAri?
I like John mostly. Obviously don't like him as much as Sherlock, but so I would generally agree. But I do like John more than you. But
what is another example?
Example of what? Say that again.
Oh, when he's with his girlfriend. That must be the other example I'm thinking of.
Of what? Like when it's better without John?
Yes.
True.
The other example.
Yes.
Now I'm talking about the wedding girlfriend, but I guess the Irene Adler girlfriend counts too.
Okay.
Maybe it's just women. Oh, and there's that whole episode where him and Molly are doing things.
True, yeah. She replaced John. That was kind of cool.
Much better than this show.
So, Mary is back, and she's a ghost. And I hate whenever a show does this, but it was probably done the best it probably could be in this.
No,
I generally don't like it.
Yeah. You don't like King Swen? That's your favorite Vinland Saga character.
Yeah, but he doesn't come back, like, literally. You see him as, like, this weird head. Like, if Mary came back as a head, that'd be the sickest thing ever. Oh my god. But yeah.
I'm trying to think of other examples, because it's probably cool. But EliteAri will be forced to confront him.
There's something in my head where I'm like, when it was done once, and it was like the worst thing I've seen in my life, and this wasn't as bad as that. But I don't remember what that was.
For whatever reason, I'm thinking of Black Sails again. I'm sure.
You know what? That's crazy, because I also thought that when that came to mind, I was like, was it Black Sails?
Well, Mary, no what's Flint's wife's name? She does that, but that's like that was Miranda or something. No, because that was like a dream sequence. That's like the best scene in that whole fucking show, EliteAri. So don't be shit talking that.
All right.
It broke him or something. God, what a show.
Yep. Okay. What is there? Sherlock goes crazy with a gun. He shoots everything in the Baker Street. And
he's done that before, hasn't he?
Maybe? I don't think so. I don't remember it. But Mrs. Hudson
somebody shot
traps him
something in that one, right? That's why there's like yellow paint on one spot.
Yeah, he like shot the wall. Yeah, I remember at some point early on, maybe season 1.
Sorry, I was correct. I just know everything.
Yeah. All right, I have a list of directing things that are super cool, okay? Number 1, when they recreate the meeting from the beginning of the episode, which is like in a boardroom, and they do it outside, like during the daylight, and when Sherlock is like thinking to it.
That was cool.
That was super cool, yeah. When Sherlock and Euros are walking in the street, and he's like painting out the picture of her apartment, like what he estimates it as. Yeah, that was super cool. And he like drags the thing and brings it closer, and the light angle is like changing. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. There's a scene where he's meeting the daughter, or like Euros, for the first time in the apartment, and he like throws the bag, and then like time slows down. He like runs through the bag and like weighs it, and then like goes back, and I'm like, this is really cool. Yep. This is more of a general like directing choice, I guess, but I like the fact that throughout the early part of this episode, like the first half, there's the events of the plot happening, but we're intercutting kind of randomly to the villain guy doing his commercials or like press. And it's like he'll just intercut to him like saying a line, and it's like, oh, this is like a cool thing of like making the villain feel omnipresent or something. I thought that was a really cool directing choice. What else?
True.
There was also a scene where I don't remember exactly what point this happened in, but there was a scene where he's outside Sherlock, and then he gets sent back to Baker Street. But the way they do it is that he's outside, and behind him a curtain falls down, and it's like the same texture as the back wall of Baker Street. But
I remember that.
Yeah, but then it turns into like a solid wall. And I was like, oh, that's like super cool. So yeah. And then the last thing is in this episode, Sherlock is like walking on walls and stuff when he's having his high like moment. So yeah.
I remember that.
Yep. That's it. That's all the cool directing stuff.
We gotta have one of these fangirls out there got to make a compilation of all the weirdest directing shots, make it 15 minutes, and then we never have to watch this show again. It's going to be terrific.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was one thing I wanted to say at the beginning, EliteAri, to contradict what I just said. I said, because I was planning on saying, season 4 was kind of bad. And then the next thing I was going to say was, Sherlock's going to be very fun to rewatch one day. Because, EliteAri, what's wrong with Sherlock is that it's an hour and a half long, and I hate watching things the first time. So every time I had to watch Sherlock, I said, why don't I just kill myself? But then I said, we get to do Naruto after this, so keep your spirits high. And especially this when there's 4 of them. So I'm like, oh my god. Because usually in a Sherlock season, you finish episode 1, you're like, whoa, I'm like nearly halfway there. And then by the time you're an hour into episode 2, you're like, I could finish this today. What am I doing here? Which is exactly what I did. I watched episode 2 and 3 in the same day, I think. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm finished. But that always happens on the first time through whenever I'm watching stuff. That happens with movies a lot. When it's not my most favorite thing and I don't think it's like a 10 in the moment, I'm like, oh, can we get this fucking shit over then? But then, EliteAri, maybe I'll watch a reaction series. I'll be like, oh, this episode's going to be sick to watch a reaction to.
Yeah, you're going to go and watch one day Shane would react to Sherlock with Rick. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
My goodness.
Yep.
The normies have to have done it, right?
They have, yeah. At least for some season they have. I think season 4 they definitely have. Yep.
Just one season. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But true. So that's just a thing, you know. I'm sure it's kind of like I tell this anecdote about Cowboy Bebop all the time. If you watch my great discussion series with Jockey Bacon on my channel, Leary, you know that everyone should go and watch. The first time I watched Cowboy Bebop, I thought that shit was boring as fuck. That shit was terrible. And then I remember like 2 days later watching full-length reactions on YouTube to somebody, and every time it was a new episode, I'm like, oh, it's this episode. This episode's sick. And I loved the show by the time we finished rewatching it together with my internet friend.
Yes.
And I think Sherlock has, because it's very episodic in that manner, it could very much have the same tactics. Because like what stands out is probably the Irene Adler episode, that season 2 finale, right? The wedding episode, and then season 4 is a great finale here, the best of all time.
It is the most unique from all the other episodes of the show. It is so different. But yeah, true.
I don't know. I think all the ones I just mentioned were highly unique. Now,
yeah, kind of. You know what?
But even the in-between ones. Go ahead.
They're not all written by Stephen Moffat, right? No, they're not. No, they're not. I know the Scandal in Belgravia is. I don't think the wedding is, right? Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, continue.
I don't know. But even the in-between ones where it's like, what a wacky episode with ninjas. I'm sure I'm going to forget about that, and I'll remember that when I'm starting that episode up one day, and I'll be like, wow, can't wait to see to remember how this went. And then there's a dumb vampire, so what can we say?
The damn golem being reduced to a vampire. Come on, give him some respect. He was a giant guy. He didn't drink blood. My goodness.
There was a shot like Nosferatu. He was a vampire.
That is true. In the movie theater, yeah.
There's so I'm sure there's some hope for Sherlock in the future.
Oh, there is like that reminded me, like, because that was probably like some book thing, I'm guessing. But Mary's death was also a book thing. Like that does happen in the original thing, so I'm assuming that's why they did it. But
interesting.
Yeah.
In my head, like Mary was definitely made up for this TV show.
No, definitely not. I think Molly.
John Watson has a wife. That's stupid. Molly's the best. We love Molly, though her ending here is a little boring too. So whatever. We're not up to that yet, EliteAri.
Yep.
We're still doing episode 2.
I'm a killer. You know I'm a killer, but did you know I'm a serial killer? That was kind of cool.
And he's eating cereal, EliteAri. That was terrific, huh?
Yep. Dead people.
You know the rich guys are bad.
Dead people.
That was a
like
part
things.
of the woke agenda.
I like to make people into things, then I can own them.
That line was kind of cute.
I never realized confessing. Actually, this is interesting. Talk about this villain guy. I like this confession thing. It was like an interesting thing where it's like the evidence was inadmissible, but he like confessed and he was like, I actually like confessing. It's so enjoyable. I would have done it earlier. And then he says like, I'm going to be famous. Maybe I can break America. And I was like, oh, that's like super interesting. Like he cares about, like that's real. Like people always think about that. Like America's the big like cultural, like that's where all the media is and everything. And man, maybe he could break into America and that would be a cool thing.
This probably has something thematically to do with therapy, right? Because it's what like
therapy is. Maybe. Yeah,
we
that's
don't
probably
care,
good.
So.
Yeah, we don't care about
Things
that.
are for losers.
Yep. Anyway, you were going to say something about this villain guy. Dead people look like things. I like turned into things.
Oh, yeah, that line was good. I don't like the last one about owning people, though. But making people into things, that was like the life and then absence of life. And there's like a change there. And that is like a big mystery, EliteAri. What's going on there?
Yep.
So, wow.
Wonderful. Okay. So now I guess if you have nothing else to say right now, I'm going to talk about John Watson, who had a fantastic scene at the end of this episode where it's him and Sherlock. They haven't mended their relationship yet, but they kind of have because they solved the case
I hate
together.
every one of these scenes.
He saved
in the whole
Sherlock's
show.
life, and he's like, he continually is like trying to leave, but like obviously he doesn't want to leave, and Sherlock doesn't want him to leave, but he keeps leaving, and whenever Sherlock would say something, he'd like come back into the room, and like, this is cute. So I like that. That was very well done.
Maybe I vaguely remember this, but that's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say, like, whenever they make up, and that annoys me. I don't like when Sherlock admits that he likes John Watson at all. We don't like that. We never like when the tsundere admits that she likes the boring character, like she always does.
Right.
And Sherlock's the she.
Yes. John, what is this? Oh, you're going to hate this as well, but like when John gets mad about Irene Adler and the fact that Sherlock's not texting him back because, you know, she's still out there and Mary's dead and like, you should try and message her while she's still alive. And I was like, oh, true. Oh my goodness. Oh, actually, and I'm just getting reminded, this was a really cool subversion where, now I hope you had the same experience with this subversion because it would be funny if you just piece it together, but there's no way. But, okay, let me take a step back. She gets a text.
I'm a genius. Whatever you're about to say, I figured it out.
He gets a text and it has the moaning sound. And then John is like trying to be like, John is like, wait, what does that mean? And he's like, I'm going to make a deduction. And I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna say like the woman's still alive or something like that. But he says happy birthday, and I'm like, oh, that's like super cool. Like he went one level beyond.
That was a cute line.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
but yes,
he'll be texting. Yeah.
Okay, yes, that was fine, EliteAri. We like that, I guess.
Excellent. I'm glad. Okay, I have 2 more notes. Should I say them?
That's almost that line was good, EliteAri. That's almost like the thing I always talk about, where like we're talking about black sails a lot in this for whatever reason. Though, remember how I used to soy out about the black sail scene where Hornigold,
what a guy,
in season 1 says to Eleanor when Eleanor's like ranting about how she does it. Yes, that's the line, EliteAri. Thanks for getting there.
Yeah.
And that happens in The Last of Us Part 2 all the time, where it's like, I think this is maybe the most distilled version of it, I guess, where it is like, it has to be like the step afterwards. It's like the same thing, or whatever, where it's clever because it's not what you expect them to say is like the actual thing that's happening. But like the reason why it's not because obviously Sherlock could show up and say the N-word, EliteAri. You wouldn't expect that now, would you?
That'd be terrible.
He probably wouldn't care about the cultural insensitivity. It would be a funny moment, but we're not going to get that in a TV show, EliteAri. Don't be silly.
Yeah.
Now, but that's crazy for a different reason. That's an off-the-wall crazy. But it's like moving the conversation in 2 steps ahead, something. For whatever reason, when you just repeated that, it clicked in my head. This is somehow in that collection of things. And I can't exactly verbalize what makes these moments so good. But in The Last of Us Part 2, when people say some weird things and they're like a step ahead or something like that, don't ask me for an example, EliteAri, but it just happened.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like a wonderful 3-minute video essay that you could pump out in one day, okay?
Oh, there's no conclusion or idea.
Who cares? Yeah, that thing killed Judah. Okay?
I don't even have a concept to call it.
True. Just say that thing killed Sherlock or something. I have no idea.
Listen, that I already told you I watched that video. But that thing, I just understand EliteAri was referencing a video as well as obviously my opening monologue of the video.
Yeah.
But also, obviously, you should have referenced for a video that would be similar to that was miscellaneous insert shot. But whatever, EliteAri. It's not a big deal.
All right. 2 last notes. I'm gonna read this out. I really hated the cheating thing last episode, but the resolution in this episode is fantastic. John isn't.
Didn't we already talk about this?
John isn't the man Mary thought he was, but that's the point. Who she thought he was is the man he wants to be.
He's gonna try to be it in the future.
Wow. Yeah, that was very cute.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was just heartfelt. John is just such a guy, such a lovely guy.
The only reason he wasn't that man is because they invented a cheating thing right at the end.
No, he's always been like this. You just haven't understood him ever. All right. My final note is, God, what a hype ending. Sherlock's secret brother might be Sherlock's secret sister. It didn't even cross your mind. Sure. It was like, damn. I mean, I got chills when I watched this. Like, oh my God, that's true. Oh my God, the sister.
I mean, I might now, but in the moment, I was like, oh well, there's a secret sister. Good job.
Yeah.
Hold on. What did you say right before the sister point? What was the end of the thing before that?
John and Mary and the man he was not meant to be or something.
No, I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah. All right.
Fuck. It was something funny or something.
That's
but true, the sister twist, and then John got shot, except he didn't, EliteAri. Could you believe it?
He got shot with a dart.
True. Oh, it was about something that people. Oh, all the things I'm saying about like not liking about John Watson this season, I could definitely see it being part of like a video essay. But it doesn't actually affect my opinion on the show at all because I don't care about John Watson. But I feel like some people could be very mad that John Watson had like a cheating storyline and like how they character assassinated him at the end. So I think that could be really funny in the future. But
we didn't talk about how he's like a sexist guy in the past. That was very funny. And he's like, I'm gonna have my wife talked about you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is funny.
That's part of the woke agenda.
Hey, that was supposed to be a commentary. That was a very funny scene.
That's supposed to be a commentary on their behavior in the first few seasons.
Maybe.
And how we're different now.
Maybe.
Listen, the blog started in 2014, all right? And this was the first season he made afterwards. So they had to apologize.
Perhaps.
You know, Donald Trump was like winning when this last season was coming out. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, 2017. True. Okay.
Should I go through my notes or you got one more?
I got nothing else. That's it.
Sherlock's best friend is back. We talked about that. Who isn't sick of men telling them what to do? See, this is a woke line that was in there somewhere. You're supposed to recall for me where that line.
No, I don't remember. You like really focus on this stuff. It doesn't even cross my mind when I'm watching.
It was a funny meta narrative that was definitely ongoing in season 4 of EliteAri. They were apologizing constantly.
Right.
Bro, we really love Mrs. Hutz in this episode. True.
Yeah, she had a car. She had Sherlock in her boot. Oh my god.
Well, not even that. That was fine. That was funny. We've done that stuff the whole time, but it's like she's like a core part of this and stuff like that. And it was very much more like I feel like whenever we had done this in the past, Sherlock would like dismiss it at the end with like a funny line and be like, "Shut up, bitch, go make coffee or something. You're annoying." But here it was like, I guess it's because he was drugged out and he couldn't retort. But everybody was like, man, she was really the glue that keeps them together. Probably some woke bullshit, EliteAri. They probably said that on the blogs too. These boys are useless and wouldn't be nothing without the women around them. It was just texting I have in big bold letters here. I wasn't happy about that, EliteAri. Mycroft was fucking that one lady drinks later. So, EliteAri, we catch them post-coitus, I thought. But then they say that they're going to get drinks later.
Yeah, that was confusing me.
Are we supposed to infer that Mycroft is also a weird doe that doesn't like sex like Sherlock? Or I guess
think
he's
there's
more
two
put
readings.
together?
One is that it's like they didn't... Like, okay. One possibility is they had sex, and Mycroft only cares about sex, not the human connection bit afterward. So he's like, well, drinks? Why would you have drinks? Like, we're having sex. Why would you have a drink now? Or the second possibility is just a misdirection, and they were just, like, putting on a jacket or something, and he just doesn't care about drinks.
Yeah, because you catch him putting their, like, not clothes back on, but...
Like a jacket and something, or a scarf or something.
Yeah, whatever. I guess it's probably what you just said, but it was also, like... Are they just like leaving, standing up from finishing a meeting?
True,
I guess that could be the case.
Yeah.
But also this lady was like, because at the end of the last episode, they were accusing her of being the bad guy. Oh, that was something that video I watched complained about, that like the lady from that was only in it for 30 seconds was revealed to be the bad guy.
That was cool. I like that.
Yeah, it was. And that video was so fucking stupid, EliteAri.
Oh,
part of the problem was that like that it came out of nowhere. It was a Deus Ex Machina or something, and it was that it's not fair because you should be able to figure it out with Sherlock, and the fact that there was no indication that it was that lady made it a bad twist. But also, you could obviously figure it out that it was that lady because if you watch fucking Scooby-Doo, the actual deduction game is crossing off the characters as you go and remembering, oh, that one character that was there for 3 seconds is probably the only one left that it could be. So it was So this guy doesn't know fucking shit about fuck. Anyway, I feel like he also made a Game of Thrones video one time that I didn't like either. So what can I say?
You're a hater.
Big YouTubers all suck. Oh my goodness. 700,000 subs or something he had.
That's lovely.
Mycroft was fucking that lady. There we go. We've gotten through that one. Who knows? It's ambiguous or something. The therapist twist was great until the girlfriend and the sister. So I like the first twist, but not the second and third one. But now it's obviously great, EliteAri, because she's the best character in Sherlock.
True.
Oh, we're getting through this fast, I think.
True. We haven't talked about the episode we might have the most to say about.
True.
So are you ready for that one, or do you have more for the second last episode?
No, that was everything for the second one.
Wait, we haven't,
terrible episode.
If anyone is listening to this, which I feel like is almost certainly no one is listening to these words right now, we haven't really talked about the crux of this episode, which is that, like, Sherlock, like, puts himself in danger, and he's in hospital, and is, like, about to die, and the point is that John comes and saves him. This is, like, fine. I don't know. I don't have, like, a strong opinion on it. It kind of ties into the Sherlock as like a superhero kind of thing, and it's more like a character-focused thing than a mystery thing. So it like bothers me a little bit, but I don't know.
He planned it all out. Molly showed up right on time, and somebody else showed up right on time, and they were all at the therapist's house.
Yep.
That was a funny line at the end where she's like, the actual therapist whose house this is going to show up soon, so we got to get out of here.
True.
Euro said that or something.
But then she said she's in the closet or something right now, so she's not coming back.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But, I just got reminded. Oh, yeah, the idea of, like, being a serial killer in a hospital is a cool idea. Because that makes sense. Like, people are going to be dying in hospitals all the time.
He owned a hospital or something.
Yeah, like, you could just make it seem like an accident, or, like, they just happen to die because they're in bad condition. Like, it makes sense if you're a serial killer. And also the idea of, like, the confrontation he has, like, that scene where he's like, what is it? Like, what are the traits of a serial killer? And he's like, no, those are the ones you catch. And, like, the smart ones are going to be nothing like that. And it's like, oh, it's kind of interesting. There were, like, some interesting back and forths, I think, in this episode that we just haven't touched. But, yeah.
Stop trying to be the bald guy with glasses, Show. You're not cool.
Yeah, I just don't see it at all. This guy was so different from that guy. That guy was, like, cool, calm, collected. This guy was, like, I don't even know. Wacky. And, yeah, wacky, that's a good one. You hate that. Well, you like that word for Moriarty. I like it for this guy.
Moriarty's wacky, bro. We don't like that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Episode 3. The Final Problem. Oh, my goodness. So...
Now, is this a thing where another episode was also called that, or that was referenced early on or something?
Yeah, so in the season 2 finale with Moriarty, where Moriarty dies, he keeps talking to Sherlock about, like, there's a problem, you and I, the final problem or whatever. And he kept saying the final problem a bunch in there. And I'm sure it's a reference to one of the stories, which is the final problem. It's like a young Sherlock thing. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it might have been the Reichenbach Fall episode. Maybe that is like a reference to it. But
we're supposed to infer that he was already under the great Euros's control back then, right?
Well, I don't know. Wait, what? I mean, they'd already interacted at that point. I don't think he's under her control at all.
Wait, isn't the point that everything he did was...
What?
In the last part was because of her? Because she talked to him and she can control you after you... Well, I guess it's not even true, right? Because the director dude wasn't completely under her control.
No, yeah.
How does her superpower work?
I think it's... my understanding would be that if she wants to control them, she can. That'd be my understanding. So I think if she wanted to control that director guy at the end, she probably could. She was in his head enough. But then again, there are scenes like Mycroft was saying consistently throughout this that it's like it's okay if I talk to her because I am equipped to handle it. So I feel like if you're like smart enough, you can probably avoid it. So like I think Moriarty, in my opinion, is probably smart enough to just not be impacted by it. But clearly he liked her, like they kissed or whatever on that big scene. So it's like there's something like they had a connection there.
They kissed?
Or through the glass or whatever. Like they held up. They went. I mean, I don't know if I think we see the kissing. I think we did, but maybe not. Maybe just imagined it. But yeah.
Hold on, I was going to say something about something, but then I was going to say something about something else, and now I'm saying nothing.
Yes.
I thought the Mycroft thing was more like he grew up with her, not necessarily that he was smart so he could deal with it.
Maybe, yeah, true.
But yeah. I guess Moriarty wasn't under her control.
Well, we don't know for sure. We didn't even see the conversation, but I would assume that he wasn't under her control.
Oh, he saw a little bit, right?
I don't think they exchanged a single word, did they? Did they? Maybe
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Like 4 days.
Maybe they did, but you know what? Who knows? But I think the point is that we don't see the substance of the conversation. Like we see the meeting, and then that's it. And it's like we cut away.
I guess an important part against this retconning point that I'm trying to make is that like he already knows Sherlock when he meets her or whatever.
Yeah, he's known him since Sherlock was a kid or something, right? That's the implication with the case of the shoes in the water, like the pool or something. I think I'm pretty sure that's like the thing. Back in season 1 in the finale.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, in the finale, there was remember that was the episode of season 1 where there's like a bunch of small cases and he gets a timer every time. Like an old lady called him on the phone and was counting, and it's like you have to solve this case within like a certain number of time. Remember that episode?
Sure.
Okay, there was an episode like that. One of the mysteries was like, I think it was Sherlock's first case where there was some guy who they found. I don't remember the case exactly, but it had to do with like some guy drowning in a pool. I
vaguely remember it.
Yeah, like some guy drowned in a pool in a high school or something, and then he found his shoes or something, but the shoes were like new or like, there was something with the shoes. And I think the implication was that Moriarty is the guy who killed him, and that was like really early in Moriarty's life, and it was also early in Sherlock's life. And because Sherlock was the one who was like involved in that case, or like was the only one who like thought it was interesting, I think that's how he got interested in Sherlock. Or maybe that was some fan theory I just made up, but I don't know.
I feel like that might have been true.
Yeah.
But true. What was I saying?
I have no idea. Something, I'm sure.
I was saying that they had already interacted in season 1 and season 2, episode 1 before he met Euros. So even disregarding the shoe story, their whole relationship wasn't because of Euros.
Amen.
But it would have been way cooler if it was, because Moriarty sucks and Euros is cool. So again, everybody would hate that if it was an actual retcon, but I would think it was pretty cool. Because I don't like the show.
Right. Okay. My first note on this episode is to say this might be the most engaging episode of the whole show. Like it flew by for me.
Well,
like
yeah, because that's why it's like similar to the season 2, 3 one. That one was more engaging, I think. I guess there's more direct plot going on in that episode.
Sure.
And I guess it's probably got a better premise initially. Because I was still trying to figure out if this was terrible at the beginning. But then it was good. So, but true, it was easy to watch, unlike the other 3 in this goddamn batch. I'll tell you what.
It is. You know what? I didn't comment on this, but it is an unfortunate thing for me specifically, and I don't know what other people think exactly, but this season opens with like 2 bad episodes, which is like the Abominable Bride, and then you have to like watch the next one, which is also like not the best. It's like, man, we're really starting off weak here. So I don't know. That bothered me a little bit. But I didn't hate the Six Thatchers this time around, but what an unfortunate ordering of episodes. Mycroft's umbrella is a sword. No, wait, it's a gun. That was kind of cool.
True.
Sherlock like tries to scare him. I didn't remember this at all. I thought it was Euros the whole time until the reveal. So what can I say? I have a very bad memory for this episode.
It was obviously a dream sequence, but then it wasn't.
Really? Did you think it was a dream sequence?
Well, Well, my first note was like Mycroft MC for the last episode because we were in his dream.
Right.
But no, it was just Sherlock screwing with him.
Okay.
You know what? I thought it was really stupid when it was revealed that it wasn't a dream. But then Sherlock has the one line where he like thanks them because they're clearly like part of his homeless network or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes sense then. Even though that's obviously retarded too.
No, it was great. It's lovely.
I totally bought it. So that was funny.
He paid them. Homeless people love money, you know, it keeps them alive.
True.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit.
Because it's also like they could have so easily died because he's like
he could have shot them.
A guy. Yeah, so it's like, oh, who would do this? Oh, the homeless. Okay, I guess.
Yep, crazy homeless guy.
Makes sense.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So. Oh wait, we didn't talk about this.
Hold on, EliteAri, hold on.
No, wait a minute. In the Abominable Bride, I thought the glass trick was super cool. By the way, they explained like, oh, like this lady is like looks like a ghost, but actually it's like a piece of glass, and then like because of the angle of the reflection of the glass, it looks like a hologram, and then when they shatter it, it hears the noise of the like you think it's a window breaking, but it's actually the glass that we're using for the ghost, and I thought that was super cool. But yeah, anyway.
True.
Thank you. But go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, my second note is another Black Sails reference somehow, where
lovely.
it was just the sister drowned the freaking cat on God because it was a dog that she drowned.
Or was it?
That was like Max.
Oh my god.
But it wasn't. So that doesn't make sense. But also, that was the only written down Black Sails reference, but it's actually the fourth in the video, so that's funny.
Wonderful. I want to say, I don't know if it's the casting. It always has to be the casting. There's no way it's the acting because the kids are like never good actors. But the casting of young Euros, I think, was really good. And when I say that, I mean like the little kid, like the 5-year-old or whatever, or the 4-year-old or whatever, in the flashbacks, where she like, how do I say this? Like the way she stares at like Sherlock or whatever, like it's like a weird, like not inhuman, but it's like very like dead eye kind of like she's like staring, and like it looks like she's like trying to understand. I don't know how to quite to say this, but it feels like someone who is like detached from the rest of the world. And I feel like it's probably the casting, like the girl, I can't imagine she did that intentionally, but like, it's well done. I don't know what to say.
They chose a dead-eyed girl, EliteAri? Is that what you're saying?
I guess, maybe. Or they like directed her in a way where they like did a good job. Or maybe she's just like a really good actor at like 5 years old. They
gave all the other kids chocolates while they were filming and they didn't give it to her just so she'd be sad so she could have the 1,000. That's what we call abuse, EliteAri.
Oh my god, I just remember the coolest thing. It's when Mycroft is thinking back to that memory of them as kids, and Euros turns around.
You look weird growing up.
Yeah, you look funny growing up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's like so scary. But
that's
cool.
a line in something else. I don't know if that was in Chainsaw Man recently when Asa and Denji was small and little or something, but something else does that. And I was like, that is
cool.
A cute line.
Yep. He's scared of his little sister.
Oh, what is it? It's like...
I have no idea.
Why... Like, I feel like the line is like, why are you pretending... It might be a Madman thing, actually.
Is it blonde?
Never mind.
Okay, I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I think it's Don Draper talking to his dad, but his dad died when he was young, but he's talking to adult Don Draper, so...
Classic.
Crazy on God.
Okay. There's a motion sensor detonation scene.
True!
And they had to plan for Mrs. Hudson to put the vacuum cleaner in the distance or whatever. Kind of crazy. This apartment gets blown up a lot. But it survives.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Bunch of retreads in this shitty season.
Wow, true.
Now,
I'm sure the original novels never retread things.
We don't care about the original novels here, EliteAri. You can use that on other people, but not on me, loser.
True.
Now, it was funny because there is one thing, because Mycroft does become like a main character of this episode, but there's like a line later. Yes,
that's a character that guy was always going to be associated with Mycroft. Like that's just him. Like whenever I see him in anything, it's like this is Mycroft right here.
Wasn't he in something else?
Yeah, it was in Fantastic Four. He was like a random presenter guy, and he's in the Iron Bank of Bravos in Game of Thrones.
That's true, and he also writes this fucking show, right?
Yeah, true. He's the writer of the show, one of the co-creators. Mark Gatiss.
Oh, what the fuck was it? Oh, in the explosion later on when they break in, before you realize Mycroft is with them, they're like, "Oh, he got injured in the explosion." And I found that like believable because he didn't jump out of the window and we didn't see him, and also he like didn't care about Mrs. Hudson.
Sure.
That is a thing. I guess this ties directly into something I said earlier, where it was like, "Oh, Mycroft's like such a nice guy in this season." Because he tries to do the self-sacrifice thing later, and he's helping him break into things. Whereas in that dumb mutt episode in season 2, he wasn't happy that they were breaking into things. So Mycroft,
he was okay with it. Like he gave Sherlock I think he gave Sherlock access in that episode at some point.
Probably, I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very clear throughout the whole show that Sherlock, the first scene we ever see of him is him caring about Sherlock. It's when he's like trying to recruit John. That's when you think
he's Moriarty. That was awesome.
Yeah, but the idea is that he's recruiting John to look after Sherlock. I think it's like very clear he likes him the whole show.
Well, yeah, it's less direct, I guess.
It's pretty direct in season 2, episode 1, where he's like worried he's gonna kill himself because the woman's dead. Iron Adler. I don't know. I think it's
Well,
like
I don't
pretty...
remember that, so it doesn't count.
Well, right, they're at the hospital and he's like, he has cigarettes and he's like, oh, these humans, like, they care so much.
Wait, I remember liking this scene.
Yeah, it's like when
Wasn't
they're
that in
talking
the
about
middle
other
of the
people.
episode though?
Yeah,
that's right.
it was
She
toward
fake
the middle.
died in the middle.
Yeah,
I remember now.
Yeah. Anyway, Mycroft, what a guy. He has a heart. Who knew?
No, he doesn't.
Speaking of Fantastic Four actors, Galactus was in this. Did you see him?
I feel like I had this thought because when you said he was in Fantastic Four, I was like, was Mycroft Galactus?
No,
it's like
okay, it's the guy
it's the guy from Nosferatu.
Yes, it was. He was on the boat.
Now. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he was on the boat, guys.
Yeah. Okay. My notes are just like random things at this point. But the violin, when he like runs into Euros and she's playing the violin, when Sherlock goes there for the first time, and when he steps too close, she like steps up the violin speed. I was like, oh, I like this. This is kind of cool.
That was cool. There's also there's like a cool, because obviously she's like the mystery of this episode, because you like they build it up so much, and it's another thing where it's like Sherlock's like building up something it's not going to deliver on, because it does that, I guess, in my head.
Okay.
Like Moriarty coming back and not doing it or whatever. Or John Watson dying at the end of the last episode, but not really. Or Sherlock dying, not really. So remember when EliteAri about 3 seconds ago used that tone? How Sherlock doesn't do that? I just proved him wrong. Now, what was I saying, EliteAri?
I don't know. What were you saying?
Oh, the main mystery, because earlier we were saying it's what happened to the dog. But in this, obviously the greatest intrigue this show's ever had is like, what the fuck is this sister actually? And then this initial scene was really cool, where it's like she's playing violin, so that's like a Sherlock thing, and it's like, oh my god, it does this a lot. And the only thing I could liken it to, which it doesn't really fit, is the Ymir flashback, where there's like we're like explaining core pieces of like iconography through like a flashback, kind of. And I guess the violin is like that here, where Sherlock's always playing violin. And it's like, oh, it's tied into the sister. Interesting. I guess the only thing in the Ymir flashback is the name of the daughters and being the walls, maybe.
Sure, yeah. Okay.
Or whatever. There's another big aspect that I'm forgetting. That's like the whole point of bringing this up, where it's like an explainer thing. Like they're all kids and they're all hanging out, and there's like a certain thing or whatever, and it's like this is where their curiosity comes from. This is where like their intellect comes from or whatever. And it's like explaining stuff. And I don't know, I really like this idea, and I think it is in something else, and I'm like, this is another thing where I'm misremembering it, and that's what's fascinating to me. Where like you have the flashback and it's sort of abstract, but it explains a bunch of things that have happened, or like core pieces of characterization the whole time. I guess this is just recontextualization that I'm swinging out about. But that was interesting. That's even later. That's not even why I initially brought it up. That is a separate point though. Is she's playing the violin, it gets fast. And because she's playing the violin, it's like immediately disarming a little bit. Or it's like, is she going to be like this crazy evil girl? Is she going to be like this misunderstood girl we're supposed to feel bad for and be mad at Mycroft for putting her in a prison like the whole time or whatever? Because she's in like this maximum security prison. So you're like, okay, well, there's probably a reason for this. And then it's like, obviously we're going into like padded cells and shit. So is she just going to be a crazy girl that screams all the time and is wacky? Or is she going to be very calm and then the craziness is going to come out later? Or is she just going to be normal and it's going to be like an oddly thing? And maybe she doesn't even hate that she's locked up and she understands that she's a danger to the world and that she wants to stay locked up or something. So it's very much like, what is going to happen here?
Yeah.
I guess the eventual answer is a little boring, but it moves into the engaging thing being like, she just has to talk to you and then you do whatever she wants. And that becomes very intriguing and like, what the hell? And that is then sold by the performance where she speaks fast and she's like repeating herself, but it feels a unique sort of like crazy portrayal or whatever. I think it's also helped by the guard guy like references Silence of the Lambs, which I don't think either of us has seen.
True.
But it's like, oh, it's a crazy guy that's like you've seen the what?
The poster, which I think gives away like, the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy is like crazy, but like he gets people to do what he wants or something, I think is the point of that movie. No, I don't fucking know. But it's like, oh, the fact that we're like referencing that means that like it's probably not what we're doing. So it like adds a little meta what do you call it? Well, I guess it's intertextual, not metatextual. Bit of intrigue.
Yeah.
So all that was really cool, EliteAri. And then in the end, she was like a crazy girl who had all this stuff figured out. But that was still cool for whatever reason. I didn't think that was lame when she was just kind of crazy. I did kind of think it was lame when she just wanted a hug, but then they moved past it quickly. So I didn't have time to be
Bro,
upset
who
about
cares about
this
the
one.
hug thing? It was so cool when he like walked into the door and then it turned into the plane door, and it's like he's on the plane now, and that was a really cool. That was all worth it.
I vaguely
Okay?
remember this, and I agree that it was cool.
Yeah. Let me think about Euros.
There was a girl in
I
a
haven't
plane.
thought about her much, like in terms of a character. I love the performance. I haven't thought about the character. Like, what is it? So it's like there's a scene early on where she's talking about Sherlock in the past, and she's talking about it was a very cute thing initially, but you find it's like more horrific. But she's talking about how
He was the dumb one.
well about that, but she's like, oh, Mycroft, he was like kind of clever, you know, he would like he would understand things if you explained it slowly. But Sherlock, I made you laugh, and I loved making you laugh. And then she realizes that it wasn't, she like made him laugh all night or whatever, and she was like so happy. It was like the happiest she'd ever been was when he made him laugh the whole night. But she's like, oh no, but then mom and dad had to stop me because I realized I wasn't making you laugh, I was making you scream. And I was like, oh, that's like interesting. So I think that's probably the crux of Euros' character, which is that it's like hard, like she understands everything, but it's like hard for her to, I don't know, it's hard for her to like exist around other people, I guess.
It's like it's like I guess a more evil, exaggerated version of what the other two are like, right? They're all weird autistic idiots. Mycroft seems like the least one. But that's kind of because he's supposed to be like the smartest one, right? So he's like adapted better.
Well, definitely not smarter than Euros, but he's out of the two of the brothers.
Why? Yeah. So what does Euros do that's smart besides control? I guess the intelligence is supposed to be how she controls people.
Yeah, well, Mycroft also says like we use her to like predict like different terrorist attacks and stuff.
She was on Twitter and she did a thing that was funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what a family.
True, and the parents are normal. Isn't that cute?
It is. The perspective each of the family members have of each other is kind of interesting. Where you have like Sherlock sees Mycroft as the smarter one. Mycroft sees like Sherlock as the emotional or like dumber, slow one or whatever. And then like the parents in this episode toward the end, they have this brief line where they're like talking about Mycroft and Sherlock, and they turn to Sherlock and they're like, Sherlock, you're always the grown up one,
the smart one, right?
No, they say like grown up or adult one. I'm like, oh, that's like interesting. You know, they see Sherlock's like emotionality as more like mature than Mycroft's like intelligence or whatever. It's interesting dynamic. Yeah, the parents seem very normal.
It's also like the Claymore thing. You listen to our great Claymore discussions.
I have no idea.
Where it's like it's revealed at some point that the girl you've been following the whole time that you think is really cool is actually the weakest one. But it's kind of like that with Sherlock, where he's like, oh, actually, he's the weakest sibling.
Sure, yeah.
But isn't Sherlock solving all the things? So what the fuck does Mycroft know, really?
I think the point is that what they're trying to make it say, which I don't know if I believe, is that Mycroft is just lazy. That's what they're meant to say. Or like what they're saying. But I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah. I guess like that can be part of him like trying to blend in more with society or whatever, is like he's like he tries to hide it or whatever, where Sherlock is more like genuine.
True.
Now
who do you like more, Sherlock or Mycroft?
I don't know, they're both kind of cool.
Okay. Moriarty. Yeah, let's talk about the Moriarty like appearance. He shows up. This is the moment where it is very clearly a fake out, where I think we're meant to imagine, or like it seems like he's alive,
that he's
right?
Alive,
like we don't know it's a flashback until they say it later. What did you think about this? Obviously this is your first time seeing it. What did you think? How did it make you feel?
I guess I was like, oh, I guess maybe he is alive. There's not too long left in this episode though, or whatever. So because basically it's like, oh, is Euros like part of his plan or whatever? She's working for him type thing to like tie him into the last conflict or whatever, and then it kind of switches where it's like, oh, is Euros making him work for her? And it's like, is she actually the big bad guy in the end? I guess it's kind of mutual. Well, not really. She is just the bad guy because he's dead.
True.
But you do figure out pretty quickly that it's in the past. So
yeah, I think it is like this is a big difference between my first watch through and this one. Because I love Moriarty. I always loved him back then. I love him now, and it was a big thing. Like people were convinced that he was coming back. I was convinced, like, oh my gosh, he's definitely coming back. And I can't wait. He's got to be in the finale. And then he shows up here, and I'm like, oh my god, he's back. I'm so excited. And then they were like just messing with me, you know. My goodness, my emotions. They played with them. And I was so sad back then. I think this time through, it was more like, this is a cool scene. I like Moriarty. I like when he jumps out of the plane and is like doing a fake performance of like he thinks he's like one of the people singing or whatever. And I appreciate it for what it is, you know. But he was dead, so it's okay. Yeah, it bothered me a little bit my first time through.
That guy sucks.
Yeah, he was great. We loved Andrew Scott, who plays Jim Moriarty, who was Molly's boyfriend.
Oh, I also
season 1.
True, that's true, but he was gay.
True.
I remember on stream yesterday or whatever, we found out he was in something else, but I completely forgot. So
he's in Fleabag.
He is in Fleabag, and he is very good in Fleabag. No, so he was in a movie or something.
All right.
It was on Letterboxd where I found him.
Molly is under threat. This
is like the worst thing.
I was curious what you were gonna think about it. Molly is her apartment's gonna blow up unless Sherlock makes her say "I love you." What did you think about this?
Well, I guess where to start. So the scene is like boring because it's fake.
Sure.
And it's like kind of trying to be a payoff because it's part of the this being a finale versus not being a finale thing where it's like, okay, I guess we're saving this for later, even though later's probably never coming. So that's kind of a disappointment. But it's also it kind of feels like a finale element where it's like, oh, we got to have some sort of resolution to this in case we don't come back.
Mm.
It also she folds really quickly where I'm like, she probably shouldn't be in love with Sherlock anymore, right? She did have a boyfriend. He was like Sherlock or whatever, but it feels like I don't know. I feel like if there was a season 5, well, you couldn't really. You'd have to retcon the scene, I guess. But I feel like in my head, what would have happened is he would have to realize that he likes her or something, which kind of feels like a principal Sherlock thing that the show doesn't want to go into. Because also Irene Adler is kind of still out there, so what the fuck is? How do you even resolve that?
Yep.
So then it sort of just becomes a Molly character thing. Yeah. And I feel like this is a very boring way to end her character. I don't know how else you do it though. I don't know. It's fine as a step on a journey. I guess it's made worse by the fact that nothing really came after this, and probably isn't.
Yeah. These whole discussions you've been talking about how Sherlock and Molly they're
going to get together.
Yeah, but I guess they didn't. They just ended on a sad, tearful exchange of "I love you," but it means nothing.
True.
Yeah.
It was good as a torture device.
True. Yeah.
And I guess it shows growth in Sherlock because he does have that one scene where it's the Christmas scene or whatever where he's deducting that that she loves him, but he doesn't realize it.
Oh my goodness, the cringe. But
very cringe, very bad.
God.
That's kind of a cute moment of character development where they're both in very different places. And she has the ability to be annoyed at him when he first calls and stuff like that.
Yeah, doesn't answer.
I don't know. I guess I don't like that she cared so much. Oh, I guess the thing I was going to say is it has to be I think I said that anyway. Where he would have to approach her, and it would feel more rewarding for the character Molly has developed into. Molly should just find a nice boy, EliteAri, and she can do it now.
Sometimes in life, you just love the same person, and they just don't love you back, and then you die, and that's it.
Forever and ever. Sometimes characters just love one guy.
That's right.
That's crazy, on God.
Yep. Okay. After this, Mycroft, he says that John is a bad guy or a good guy, but he has to die. And Sherlock, it's obvious you've got to kill him and not me. And then Sherlock sees straight through it.
So I did fall for about 2 lines, and I was mad. Wow. I was like, oh, they're character assassinating Mycroft right now. This sucks. It's much more interesting if he's not a bad guy. Well, actually, this is another spoiler thing. Because I don't know why. At some point I was on YouTube, between a break in scenes, but the break was 2 minutes. It's not like I left for half an hour like I do sometimes. And I saw a thumbnail where it was no, this is actually before. But anyway, I saw the thumbnail where it was Sherlock and Mycroft and John Watson debate who dies or whatever. Oh, wow. And it was it had 5 million views, and it was finale thingy. So I was oh my God, one of them's actually going to die. So basically what I thought is that the show was making it easy for us to kill Mycroft by making him a bad guy in this moment, so this moment wasn't impactful when he died. But actually what was funny is that I saw that scene before the first one, which was 2 scenarios before this. It was before the Molly one and before the 3 banker brothers or whatever. There was another one at the beginning where it was I don't know, it dawned on me that obviously this is going to build up to Sherlock having to choose it's when they're shooting the guy.
Yeah, the head guy.
And they don't shoot him or whatever. And I was because they're debating there, who's going to have to take the responsibility. That was also a great scene, because I did think Watson was going to do it, because I'm he was in the war. He'll get over it. He cheated on his wife and she died. This isn't that bad.
True.
Also, I guess this is a different thing. I guess we skipped over it. They should have just shot that guy in the head, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. Mycroft should have done it immediately, but, Mycroft just doesn't... He doesn't want his hands dirty.
better characterization. Because I'm like, yeah, Mycroft would just do this, right? But I guess he doesn't want to get his individual hands dirty.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense if I don't think about
it. It is interesting. It does show like he is very detached from like his job. Like it is like I think he has a specific line where it's like it's murder or something. Like I would not do that.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
It's oddly moralizing, but I don't know. As a contradiction, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And it is funny that like Sherlock did shoot that guy at the end of last season, so he's like not opposed to shooting somebody, so he can't do it. I thought that was cute. I don't know. I think it would have been way more interesting. I guess a criticism is that like they do pussy out in all of these scenarios from having something super interesting happen. Like Watson shooting that guy would have been really interesting.
They drop the 3 people and Sherlock like chooses the.
Oh yeah, but that doesn't impact our fucking characters too much. If John had to shoot that guy, that would have been crazy. I guess it's cool that the wife did just get shot because it's like, you guys fucked up, obviously. So that's cute. That's not nothing. But John shooting that guy would have been awesome.
Yep.
And Mycroft actually having to die probably would have been better too.
No, we love Mycroft.
I like Mycroft, so we can't let him die.
Yeah.
But I also bought that Watson might die because I was like, oh, it's the end. Like, there was no episodes after this.
It's funny because I'm in the opposite camp where I'm like, I don't remember what happens to Mycroft. He could die here. Because it is funny. I think that's the last thing we get of him. So I in my mind, I was like, oh, maybe he died and I just don't remember. So I was completely on that side. But,
So the original point was I saw that thumbnail, right?
True. Yes.
Oh, so I thought that it was going to happen and the show was taking like the easy way out by making Mycroft unlikable, so he was going to get shot. So then, the point of this was that it was an extra relief when I obvious, like a line later when like tripling down, where I was like, oh, he's like doing a nice thing. That's really cute. So I like that scene was supposed to be the point of this.
Yes.
It is because it is interesting because it is a weird, like this is another thing that Shitty Video brought up where it's like, oh, there's no mystery in this. It's a bunch of like games they get put through, but it's obviously like the most interesting stuff this show could possibly do is have like these 3 characters be put in these scenarios.
Yeah.
So that's good, and we like that. Now, how did they get away with not shooting anybody there?
Sherlock says he's going to shoot himself, and Euros doesn't want that, so she like takes him out with a dart or something.
She could have just said, "If you shoot yourself, I'm going to kill both of them."
Yeah, but she very much. I think it's like Sherlock at that point probably realized that she cares more about him or something. I would guess, but maybe not.
Cute, but whatever.
I was just thinking more. You got me with that video essay thing. I'm just thinking about like people just don't like change in like shows. I think. Maybe
it was very clear in that video.
Yeah.
No, it was because they were doing the retarded thing you were doing, where it was like this show used to be a serious show, and now it's like wacky. But it was always retarded.
That's not true.
Which is annoying.
It is not true. It is much more grounded.
Ninjas are way more retarded than Euros. I'm sorry.
It's because you don't have a fundamental understanding of what is grounded and not, I guess. Because ninjas are like unbelievably more grounded than like a super powered woman who is like controlling people by speaking to them.
If we were in the fucking 1400s, it might be realistic.
The ninjas.
Also, I think they were Chinese, so we are being racist when we call them ninjas.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's very different. I would not. Let me say actually, I would not describe the ninja thing as goofy. I would describe the Golem guy. That's definitely goofy or corny or cheesy or whatever you want to say, like ham or whatever.
Well, the ninja acting was really goofy. Like the woman, and then like Moriarty shows up on the fucking thing at the end. Like I remember that.
Wait, what? What's this? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, she gets like a message where she gets killed at the very end of the episode because she's like texting somebody, like she's in a chat room and she's messaging someone with an M, and then it's like, and she's like, Mr. Moriarty, shoot me or whatever. Yeah, it's like, oh, these ninjas are dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think thinking it was ever a grounded detective show is like really stupid to me. And like very clearly some of the appeal was how goofy and wacky. And there's also things about whether or not like the deductions are good. That's just like the dumbest thing to ever speculate about to me. I don't know. It seems like people's idea of what they like about the show is really stupid. And the fact that like this wouldn't be part of it, especially the repeated like talking point, which I'm pretty sure was in that H-Bomber guy video from Little Bart I did watch, was like, oh, it used to be a detective show, but now it's just like about jerking off the shitty interpretations of these characters or something. When obviously that's the most interesting aspect of this fucking show. I don't give a fuck about some dumb mystery plot. I kind of do, but obviously that's not the main draw.
I think it's very clear. This is like something I noticed, especially going from season 1 to 2. Season 1 is there's much less character stuff in that. Season 2 stepped it up, and it was very much like a lot of character interactions and character like moments and
yeah, I definitely think
like
that.
I think that's a big change.
It's like,
yeah,
it's constantly escalating.
Sure.
But that kind of just makes sense, right? You flesh the characters out more as you go.
No, I think you could have continued with the season 1. Like if you did the episode of the week kind of thing, if you kept doing that for season 1, like and continued in multiple seasons, I don't think you'd have to have all the interesting character scenes. Like I don't think you'd have to have a scene with like Molly at like the Christmas thing, and all the characters are there and they're like doing the seduction about Molly. Like that doesn't feel like a season 1 scene. And even if like we continued with the episodes of season 1 into season 2, I don't think you would fit into season 2 either. I think it's like a uniquely season 2 thing because season 2 is much more focused on the characters specifically, and makes the mysteries much less of a thing. And then from there it like continues where it's like season 3 is like almost entirely about characters. Yeah,
it's the wedding episode.
Yeah. And Mary is like a character, and that relationship is like a big massive part of it. And I don't know. And like Sherlock dying and coming back, and that's like a massive character. And this is all like nothing to do with mystery. This is all just like character stuff. And this season is like, to me, this season's like different, where it's like it is obviously entirely character stuff, but it's like this, especially this finale. It truly is. There is like, it is completely unrecognizable from season 1. Imagine putting this in season 1. You cannot. It's like it's night and day.
It's tonally different.
Yeah, but it's tonally like a completely different show almost.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, which I think is probably what people find like, so jarring.
The core change isn't that it's significantly more wacky.
Yeah, it probably is. No, I don't know. I'd probably, because I agree with, I don't know what this person's saying in this video, but I do think that season 1 is much more grounded. But I don't know if I would describe this episode as wacky, or notably more wacky than like other episodes of like.
You might be right, because I feel like the vampire shit stood out so much because it was like not similar. Whereas the Euro stuff you do kind of just take in stride because it is wacky. Like the show is wacky, firmly wacky at this point. But like it's obviously like a nostalgia for like the old show. Like
that is true.
Not the old show, but like memories of the show. Oh, it used to be good, but now it's bad, and like it's because it's wacky now.
Well, I'm glad we figured this out. Look at this. We got to the bottom of this. I'm sure everyone will agree with us.
I don't know what we did, but we did.
Either way. Yep. Okay. So yes, they get shot by the darts, and then they wake up in a room. Sherlock wakes up in a room. Watson wakes up in a well. Oh my god, he's gonna drown to death. That's terrifying.
In a ocean well.
Yeah, the frog in a well, Chainsaw Man.
True.
Yeah, so this is when we get the big reveal. We never had a dog. So instead of a dog, it was actually a friend, and Euros killed the friend, seemingly, drowned them.
I thought it was going to be a 4th sibling, and I was like, this is awesome.
True, oh my goodness. Why not? Yeah, Sherringford. I think Sherringford is like... Sherringford is the twist, because Sherringford in the novels is the original brother. Like, they have a third brother, and their name is Sherringford. So when you hear that name, when Mycroft is saying, like, is Sherringford okay? Back in, like, episode 2 of this season, you're meant to think that, like, the brother is going to be introduced as a character. And that's why the twist works in, like, episode 2 for all the novel readers, where it's like, we were expecting
they're also mentioning that there's a third brother in the beginning of the episode before they reveal it as the sister.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Those original novels. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
The Euros name is weird too. So if that's
East
for
Wind.
the show, I guess that makes more sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know, that's like Greek, right? And Sherlock and Mycroft, that's like a very British name in my head. So
that does sound British.
And Sherringford, that's British.
That's the most British thing in the world. Okay. Euros was.
Hold on, I guess I have notes here that we've.
Yeah, go ahead.
Probably should have. So they've mentioned Sherlock's dog before this, right?
Yeah, he was in the season. He was in the wedding episode because Mycroft is like, how do I explain this? It was something to do with like, oh no, it was about the whole wedding thing where it's like John is getting married now and he's gonna not be able to spend time with you anymore because he's getting married. And I think Mycroft at some point was like during that episode, he's talking to Sherlock and he's like, you remember what happened with Redbeard, right? And I think the implication is that he got so attached to Redbeard that when Redbeard died, he like got really sad about it or something. So we've mentioned Redbeard at that point. It also got mentioned in the season 3 finale where Sherlock is getting shot by Mary and he goes into his mind palace and then we see him like playing with his dog and it's like, Redbeard, they put you down or whatever. And he's like having his like safe space, happy moment, like to prevent himself from going to shock. We learn about Redbeard there. So it happens at least twice in the show.
Probably slight retcon, but that's fine. The fact that they mentioned it I was like, oh, I know that like for a thing. I guess that also plays into like the Yamiya point or whatever, where it's like, oh, all these odd things we kind of know, because the waterfall thing was also that, where it's like, oh, that's a thing we've seen, and now we're explaining it in this context. It was interesting when he was in the well and he got like the little bones. I was like, oh, the dog was in the well.
Yeah,
like that's not too much of a twist.
Yep.
Like she drowned it. True.
Yep.
But no, it was actually a boy.
Yep. Goddamn Mycroft hiding it from Sherlock. Oh my goodness.
True.
Yep. Okay. Well, you said you had notes. Any other notes?
Oh, I guess I could do all my ones up until this point.
Right.
The sister character is interesting, but I don't know if it works with John Watson. This was funny because the tone was very cool with the thing, and it felt like this weird horror movie. And then John Watson was walking around. I'm like, this guy doesn't fit in here.
Oh my god.
So that was funny to me. Yeah. Then my next one was I Want to Break Free. True.
I want to break. True.
Tension is very good in the gun moments. True, we talked about that. Getting the Molly stuff in the series finale, question mark. Molly folding was a little weird. Jeez, I already said that. The plane would be coming down if it was up to me, EliteAri.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
This is a much interesting thing about how, like, if you tell me to choose between, like, the people I know and care about versus some random people in a plane, I don't give a fuck about this plane.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not going to get me into, which is very funny, very Denji of me.
Yeah.
That is very true, though, because you'd think, because with the Denji thing, it's like, if I hadn't had serious moral consideration, I probably am not going to allow myself to save that cat, and I probably would save the 4 seniors, I think. If you remember EliteAri, I was just writing about this today. There was 4 seniors and 1 student with a bright future. So I would probably do my moral consideration and say, we should probably save these shitty fucking seniors. I hate old people, EliteAri. I worked in a store. Now, but in this scenario, I just wouldn't care, I don't think. This is sort of a moral. It's interesting because I think most people would save the plane. Would they though? I think most people would be guilty about not saving the plane, but I really don't think I would care at all. And I think I'm just like a sociopath, just like my friend Sherlock, except Sherlock isn't because he's trying to save this fucking plane. I guess it's very different because you don't know what, like, your and your friend's survival here is probably only guaranteed if you agree to play the game. So that's part of it. But true, I don't give a fuck about this plane. I would feel guilty in the this is interesting. This is actually something I have been thinking about a lot recently. Is that I really try to avoid putting people in uncomfortable situations where, like, I will feel really guilty if, like, I leave something at work that's really shitty that it's not even that I should do, but, like, it's probably, like, I know that the person that's about to show up to, like, close tonight is going to see that they have to do that and that I didn't do that, and they're going to be like, fuck, I got to do that shit, because I know I've been in that position and I didn't like it, and I would have wished that the person who was like, here in the afternoon would have done it. So in that way, I am very empathetic. But in terms of people dying, I'm not really empathetic at all. Because I guess to me, like, if they're dead, like, it's over. Like, they're not suffering anymore. I don't have to. So I guess my point here is that I feel empathy towards suffering, but not towards death. And if they all crashed, they would just die instantly, so I don't care. But I would feel bad about the girl who is, like, contemplating death and is scared. That I wouldn't like. So I would feel guilty about that, but not about her dying. There we go, Leary. I figured out my moral system today. And by moral system, I mean my instinctual feeling.
Yeah, but this is, like, kind of, they talk about this in the episode a little bit, where there's a divergence between Sherlock and Mycroft, right? Mycroft wants to crash it in the ocean, and then Sherlock wants to land it in the city or something, right? I think that's what's going on.
Well, Sherlock wants to take the higher risk for the best reward, and Mycroft wants to be more practical is kind of the point there, right? But that's just saving the most amount of people.
Well, Mycroft is like, I guess that's interesting. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
But that's also, they've both already assumed the thing that I'm not assuming, which is that we would have to sacrifice the people we care about in this room for this.
Yeah, sure.
It's also different if you're sacrificing yourself, because then there's, like, a weird hero complex that would come in, where I probably would do that, because that would be cool. And then people would like me. Even though there's really no, what do you call that, value to that, because once you're dead, it doesn't matter, and you can't enjoy the you've created or whatever.
Yes.
Legacy is probably important to me at some point or some
Wow. Oh my goodness.
But true, I think that was the end of the point, even though I presented it
yes,
like
the plane was crashing. But don't worry, we don't have to worry about that because there was no plane. It was all in Euros's metaphorical headspace. Except
I guess that's the point at the end. I didn't really think about that, but true.
Yeah, yeah, that is the point. Like it is the
because she is just in a room at the end, in her room at her house, or is that metaphor?
No, that's true. She's there, and she's just freaking out. She's like turned her.
So the things that she recorded in the room on the TV screen were like pre-recorded.
No, she was like physically. Oh, well, maybe.
Out, right, for a few hours.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So she just went and moved.
Yep.
But how close is where the island to where their house was?
Probably very far. But no. But she was out for multiple hours, right? When he called the plane lady.
Sure, England's small or whatever. Yeah. It probably doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
She got him on a plane, and I guess they got helicopters there, right?
That's right.
Don't think about it, EliteAri. It's fine.
Yep. Yeah,
but anyway, EliteAri, I value these discussions more than a plane full of people, so I'd kill the people for you.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. Okay. Euros?
Oh, hold on. There's more notes that we've already passed.
Please, go ahead.
I fell for the Mycroft thing. True.
Yep.
I like the idea of this formative flashback where everything is derived. It's always cool, but it does make things feel a little small and neat. Yamiya. Oh, I wrote down a bunch of examples. Naruto One Piece.
That's spoilers.
Obviously, we're not going to talk about the Naruto one here.
I don't want the One Piece one either.
Who cares about
that? No, I care. No, we're good. I don't want it.
Oh
my god.
I guess that for people listening, the Naruto one, I think, would be the.
We're getting close to watching this.
Just cover your ears for 1 second, EliteAri.
Oh my god.
And we're not close to watching this at all. It would probably be the first Hokage flashback, I think. And the One Piece one is like kind of all the more recent flashback stuff. I suppose it works better. You can come back, EliteAri. Do you think he's back yet?
Oops, sorry. I knocked my headphones off and broke it, but I'm back. I fixed it.
Oh my.
All right.
Breaking things is not okay, EliteAri.
It was a magnetic
Make
detachment.
you that mad.
Very good.
Now, remember when you left a bad review on No Man's Sky because you couldn't use your shitty headphones? That was very mean.
Yeah, what a bad development team. How incompetent that they can't get you to make you use your Bluetooth headphones in the game. What a
that was the most Karen EliteAri moment I've ever seen.
It's so stupid. Like, how can they be such a competent, like, successful game and not be able to use Bluetooth headphones? It's embarrassing.
No, I've never heard of Bluetooth headphones, EliteAri. Nobody uses them. Get over it, kid.
Amen.
Stop playing games on PC, loser. Now... You can probably use.
True, I'm gonna use my wired headphones on my PS5. Yeah, I'm plugging in my little controller and the little 3.5mm jack. Yeah,
that's what we do. That's what I do when I'm playing Crash.
Yeah.
Now, my last comment on that was, I suppose it works better metaphorically. I guess that is a neat point. Not a neat point. A small point is that sometimes when they do this, and maybe this is even the case with the Yamiya thing, it does make everything feel small because it's all derived from this one moment, which is probably not realistic. But who cares? I don't care about that. I might have cared about that when I wrote this note, but I don't now. And then my last note is we're really sucking our own cocks at the end. I don't entirely remember what that is, but I think it's like the last scene, so we're not up to that yet.
Yes. Okay. Euros is sad. Oh my goodness. She was so lonely when she was a kid, and Sherlock had Mycroft, and Mycroft had Sherlock, and Sherlock had his friend, and the family was all happy, but she was so separate and sad. And, yeah, she said, you were inseparable, but I wanted to play too. It's like, wow, that's so sad. Isn't it sad when a little girl just doesn't have anyone to play with because all the people around her are men and boys, and oh my goodness, we hate it. And it is also the fact that she is the youngest sibling. It is like, it adds a little element to it where it's like, oh, she's like the young one, and like.
Wait, no, isn't she a year older?
No, she's a year younger than Sherlock. Sherlock's the middle child, and John makes a joke about that at some point.
Maybe I remember that.
Yeah, there's a really cool directing shot. It's when you're having Sherlock realize that his friend died when he was a kid, when Euros killed the friend, and it's like a rotating shot where the lighting is changing on Sherlock's face, and as the light changes, it fades between him as he is now and him when he was a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, that was
crazy on God, for real.
It was interesting.
I remember when I saw it, I was like, I should pause that and try and go frame by frame and see how the fuck that worked.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I'm nearly done. Let me just watch this.
Absolutely. And then there was the coolest thing I already mentioned, which is that Sherlock runs to the room. He opens the door, and then we cut to his seeing him, and he's opening the plane door to the pilot where the girl is, and it's like, whoa, Sherlock's standing in this plane right now. That's crazy. That was great. Okay.
True.
And then after the whole, also John's drowning at this point. It's kind of crazy. Poor guy chained to the floor.
I was cheering.
Yeah, you are. I'm sure you were. And then Sherlock...
No, he's suffering, EliteAri, so I'm very empathetic to that. I wouldn't want to be drowning.
Yes, but the second he died, you'd be like, "Oh, I guess that's done," and then you'd be over it.
Yep. If he died, it's all over. I'm very like relieved.
Yep.
I wish I was dead.
I was relieved that Sherlock remembered Lestrade's name. He said Greg or something, and
True.
Lestrade was so happy.
For whatever reason, I thought this was like a new bit. I was like, he's definitely called him by his name before.
Absolutely.
But I guess that he just calls him Lestrade, which is like, if he remembers one name, who cares? But true, this was a bit that came up a few times.
Yes. And then there was the funny, I didn't like this, where Lestrade, the police guy's like, "That's Sherlock Holmes, he's a great man." And Lestrade is like, "Yes, he's a good man too," or something. And I'm like, wow, oh my
This is the sucking our own cocks thing, I think. Because there was another scene after this where I'm pretty sure John and Sherlock are just hanging out at the very end. True. They're also sucking their own cocks, as in the show is sucking its own cock, being like, "What a great adventures we've been on," and such and such.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But that was well directed because it was like a rotating 360 shot, but the people kept changing in the scene. And it was like different times. And I'm like, whoa, that was really cool.
I vaguely remember that. This is a testimony to the way I've watched these episodes is fucking terrible. Because I shouldn't be forgetting this shit so quickly. But the fact that like, especially for like the special in episode 1, like I think I probably watched 10 minutes, did something else, came back later in the day, watched 10 more minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, yeah. This has been the case for all of them, though. And I kind of remember doing this for the prequels, but that was because I was tired. But I feel like I remember Attack of the Clones pretty well.
It's because the best of the prequels, obviously.
Well, the prequels are much better than Sherlock. What can we say? But
it's probably true.
That's probably not true, I think.
No, that's definitely true.
What'd I give all those? 3.5 stars? Is Sherlock a 4 out of 5? Who knows? Oh my god, I've never even considered giving the show a rating.
You're gonna have to. It's coming up soon.
Nuh-uh, you ain't gonna make me, pussy.
All right.
Now, what was I saying? Oh, the way I watched these was terrible. So all my opinions should be disregarded, right? Because there is shots where you're like, that happened, and I'm like, that probably happened. And I feel like I probably should have just like skimmed through the episodes before we did this, but I didn't. And I didn't listen to our discussion. So, you know.
Yep. If I'm remembering correctly, I think the predictions you made in the first season were like pretty decent. That's my recollection. I was like, oh, I think you got like...
Yeah, predictions are always smart.
But I remember there was one thing where you were like, I think you made some guess about like Moriarty being alive in season 4 because you saw him credited, but it was clearly because he was like a flashback thing in the season, which I thought was funny.
I think I said that about Irene Adler.
Oh, maybe that is what it was, which is funny because she's not in this final season. But,
no, she's not at all.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm very disappointed.
All right. I have 3 notes left, but they're all tiny notes. No, I've already talked about one, the rotating shot time-lapse of 221B Baker Street. And I've already talked about the other one, the family all sitting as they're watching Euros and Sherlock like play the violin to each other. That was really cute. And I like the ending where it's like a violin, they're like playing the violin and the main theme of the show is playing and we're like seeing all the like different cases. I know you thought it was like, oh, they're jerking themselves off.
True. No, that was fine.
Yeah. And then the final shot is them running out of a bank or something, and it's like a freeze frame. I liked it. It was kind of weird, but yeah, it was like cool.
It's like future adventures or something.
What did you think of the Mary pre-recorded messages thing?
What was it? Just like save John Watson from himself?
Something like that.
Yeah, real cool, bro. Real cool.
Yeah, it was okay.
John Watson sucks.
That's what I hear, but he's a really, really good actor. Whenever he like is really angry or upset, and he talks really quiet and like can't get his words out. Oh my god, he's such a good actor. So we love John Watson, especially the actor.
It is interesting because obviously I love the great Hobbit EliteAri, and he's the Hobbit. But I don't think about him as the Hobbit at all. And I didn't really think about the Hobbit at all when I was watching this. So it would be interesting if I went back and watched those movies. If I saw like fucking shitty Sherlock.
You know what we're doing next? We're doing Doctor Strange and the Hobbit. Okay.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like in my head, he's not like Doctor Strange is not like Sherlock at all. They don't even look similar. But it's probably just because he has an American accent, right?
Yeah, probably.
That kind of ruins it. I feel like I would, if I went back and watched an Avengers movie and I was like, Sherlock's in this, I would soy out a little bit. Like I soyed out that one time that Daredevil was the guy from Boardwalk Empire, and I was like, this is like the greatest guy of all time. But he wasn't really acting like him at all. There is times like. It's funny because this is an Avengers example. John Slattery, who plays Roger in Mad Men, is just playing Roger as Tony Stark's dad in the Avengers. Wow. And that's like sick. That's like, oh my god, they just told him to be the guy from Mad Men because Mad Men's so cool in this fucking movie. That's fucking sick. It's like he's sucking off Mad Men right now. That's like a spectrum. No, my point here is if Doctor Strange had a British accent and he was like, cleverly doing things, even just like in his first scene, I'd be like, this is the fucking coolest shit ever. Fuck the Avengers, Sherlock's here.
Yep.
But he's probably not, so he probably...
Well, he is a doctor, like, for the first half of that movie, or, like, first, like, bit. So it's like...
But, like, a medical doctor.
Yeah, but he has, like, he's a very arrogant, like, I'm the smartest, like, there's, like, a whole element to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have never seen Doctor Strange. I've only seen him in Avengers movies.
I mean, we could probably do that movie just as a quick thing. It'd be funny.
Don't worry, EliteAri, Avengers Phase 1, my consuming thing, and it has been for... Now I know.
And the villain from season 3 finale, the guy who you think is the same as this season's villain, his brother's in Doctor Strange. So there we go. There's a nice connection. And
his brother's an actor too. My goodness.
Yeah, he's in Rogue One. Geonosis' dad. That's that guy. What on earth was I gonna say?
I pictured a face, but it was the guy that killed his dad, her dad.
Watson's also in I don't know what the MCU. Like he plays a character. He's on like the government or something.
Yeah, that kind of fits, I guess.
Yeah.
He's in other things too.
No, don't be ridiculous.
Shut up. Fuck, I can't remember what it was. But it was in something. I think I was on. It was me on stream on Letterboxd.
Like,
oh yeah, he isn't. But I don't remember what it was. And I just got the second battery warning, EliteAri. So are we gonna end this before the thing?
Let's think. So what is there to say about Sherlock as a whole?
I don't know. The ranking thing would the rating thing would be interesting. I really have no idea. It would either be 3.5 or 4.
Let's just think of who are the favorite characters? Who comes to mind?
Sherlock and Mycroft and Molly and Euros and
True, yeah.
Not Moriarty or John Watson or Mary, I'll tell you that much. Sherlock's girlfriend was great.
Yep, Janine.
Both of them. Sherlock's a drug
bro.
dealer friend. He was pretty cool.
Yes.
The ninjas were not cool.
Yes. The Gollum guy was cool though, right? We like the Gollum guy. The vampire.
No, we don't.
Oh,
remember Talisa was in this as John Watson's girlfriend for one episode?
That was great.
That was cool.
All right.
We love Rob Stark here.
Yep. Okay, I don't know if there's anything else to say. What is there like a favorite episode or something that stands out where you're like, that one, that's the one? Well, not really.
We like the Irene Adler one, and we like the great bed shot, and we like
all in that episode.
Season 2. I already said all the best episodes.
Yes,
season 2 finale, wedding episode.
Yeah.
What was the season 3 for? Oh, that was the one where he
Charles
shot that
Augustus
guy.
Magnuson.
That one wasn't that good.
That was great.
What was season 3 episode 1? Oh, John Watson punching him. That's when John Watson was good for a little while. That was cool.
Yep.
Dumb Mary being a spy or something? Boring.
Okay, well, guys, that was Sherlock. Leave a comment, please. Now is the time. If you somehow listen to this and got to this point and you're like one of like 20 people who've like clicked on this video, please say something, okay? Please just say like, I'm here, okay? That's all I want to hear.
Give us your top 5 Sherlock characters.
Yeah, all that. Do that. And that's it. We're done. That's Sherlock. What do we do next? I guess we do Naruto next.
Oh, my goodness. We are going to do Naruto. I don't really know if that's filling the Sherlock slot, though.
Yeah.
We discussed doing Fallout, maybe. There's other shorter things.
I mean, obviously we should be doing Pluribus. That's the one everyone is talking about, but we'll see.
True.
Yeah.
You and me are going to do Pluribus.
We should do the Stephen Moffat, Mark Gatiss, like Nosferatu thing or whatever, the vampire thing they did. I don't know anything about that.
They did that?
They did like a Helsing or something. No, what was it? Wait, let me quickly look it up.
We could do that and pair it with Bram Stoker's Dracula by the Godfather guy.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't know what that is, but sure.
Well, it's a Dracula thing. That's Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, so in 2020... Wait, let's see who was involved in this. So created by Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat, so the same people as the Sherlock. They made Dracula, which is a TV series with 3 episodes.
Oh, it's a TV series.
Like Sherlock, 3 episodes. Oh my god. And they're each an hour and a half, so I guess it's like the next Sherlock made by these two. Maybe we should do this. Damn it. I don't know anything about this. This might be terrible. I don't know. I've never heard about this. Yeah, who knows? Nope, I guess Kyle's gone now, but it's just me. I guess we can wrap it up here. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we will see you next time.